welcome to NYCOS. Tonight, Dawn Guard, the episode title, The Frenemy Within. If that doesn't strike fear into the heart of Cord and Miri, I don't know what will.
Nah, I like Chubs.
And so we are going to introduce the players to you as our viewers, and we're going to start off with let's go with age before beauty, ladies before gentlemen. So therefore, if you would please, Gene, take the floor, and then it will be Scott and who else do we have? And Jacob, right? That's it. That's who we got right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Mary Elwin, Greendale, Cleric of Nikos, Guardian of Life. And I walked into a place that I don't really want to be right now, which is back home where she really wanted to go, but it's not the same.
Yeah, as the saying goes, you can never go back again.
Yeah. And that's it for me. Who's next? Age.
Scott.
Scott.
I am Scott Crandall. I play Cataract, the sycophantic apprentice druid of Greendale, who is possibly, at least at this moment, a little bit too in the mood, but not in the way you are thinking.
He's in the what?
Fascinated with her ladyship. That's
Yes.
You're stunned and at awe at her presence and her aura being a paragon. She's the closest you've been to an avatar. So
Yes.
now I'm gonna have to ask a delicate question. I know that both Cord and Jackson are still in school, so I need to just give the year.
Jackson, you can go first.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Cord. I thought that might be the case. I just wanted to not be. Okay, Jackson, please. Name, class, and race.
For the record, I'm already out of school.
Oh, okay.
And my character name is Jackson. I'm a fighter, human, and
protector and champion of the sect gem. At least as far as the Leporine are concerned, they think you're a hero.
Yeah.
Okay, and then finally to our Golian.
I am Cord Campbell, Goliath fighter. And I'm just for now. I'm just sort of here, doing my thing.
Just sort of here, yeah. You're still basking in the victory of 2 weeks ago, and so it's kind of cool to not have to be carrying the big burden.
Yeah.
It's nice
Except that you are still, except you are still sort of carrying the big burden, aren't you?
I'm gonna have to go check out the horde, but I'll do that later.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, as Mary was saying, we are in Elwindale, which is her home countryside, and they're kind of treating you like a kind of a big deal, huh?
Yeah, and it makes her very uncomfortable, but she's trying to deal with it as best she can.
I'm trying to help the best I can, but sometimes my helpful is not that helpful.
Oh, it's greatly helpful and it's greatly appreciated. Kasarak, you're just so
You're a good
lovable.
soul. But her problem right now is what they're doing. From what Kasarak has told me, I feel uncomfortable with how they are using ritual in the church because
How so?
well, she doesn't like the idea of having set rituals. I mean, to celebrate the seasons is one thing, to celebrate life and birth, to even celebrate death as a cycle of life. Yes, but that's as it comes, not with rigid ceremonies and times that you have to pray. You pray if you need to, standing on a hoe in your garden or while plowing. You take a
Well,
pause at the end.
no one's denying that part of it. They just are a little bit more Mm,
Rigid.
well, yeah, but they don't see it that way. That makes it sound harsh. What they see it as is it's easier to be evangelistic if you can bring a guest or a prospective follower to experience the glories and joys of being a member of the Green Veil.
Hmm.
You know that if
Yeah, well, the
if we know
glories of
that
the
if we know that we have library readings now from the ancient texts that show the strains, the threads of Viridis going back before the Revening. I mean,
yeah.
these little nuances, these snippets, which are realistically probably somebody writing about the antics of a time traveler, but it comes across sounding like the Green Veil might have existed before the Revening happened.
Well, you would understand that because life has existed.
Right.
Even if they didn't name it, life is.
But the issue, therefore, is that you expect there to be a tighter, rigid, more
No.
understandable document pathways. Well, no, what Erebos, I think was his name, the priest of a priest of the Veils here.
I don't think you gave the head priest a name
Well, I just
yet.
did, so write it down.
Well, what was it?
Erebos, Erebos.
Erevos. Erebos. Well, Erebos might be the head priest here, but I think he's missing if
Well, he's been
the
hanging on
way the green.
he's been hanging on every word said between you and Ralgrim about the faith, and he's done everything he can to hold to both sets of information, reveling in your successes as a child of Elwindale. I mean, you are literally our child, so we we embrace that. It's different from Earth, where a prophet is not known in their own nation. In this case, a prophet is known, admired, and
Okay.
pursued with great vigor.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
therefore, it's no wonder the Cassarac, from coming here and hearing about your stories, was so looking forward to getting to meet you.
and he has.
Hmm.
And he has.
Well,
But she was headed to the temple this morning.
yeah.
Sure.
And Casrack, if you'd like to join me, you can.
Yes, he is going
Cord?
to, at this point, dutifully follow you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cord and Jacob, you're free to
Jackson.
Jackson,
Yeah.
you're free to do what you want to. Um, I just need to see
It's
what's
your second
happening
time,
there.
Jackson, in an Elven city, and this one's a little bit more laid back because its population is human, half elf, and elf. It's not a true center of the elven forest kind of a place, but it's very, nonetheless, very accommodating, and there are a lot of pretty young ladies that are admiring you across the space in your lovely suit of armor and the rumors and the stories told of how you single-handedly rescued that little litter of leporines and helped them to escape the ravages of war. They have no one can think of you as anything other than awesome because you rescued little bunny rabbits. How cute is that?
That's your claim to fame right now, sir.
Uh, uh, I
Okay.
God.
Matter of fact, the townspeople would probably have provided you, hopefully not in a distasteful way, but a pair of very furry bunny slippers made with uh, um, responsibly sourced fur, which means they went and killed something in another iteration where it was okay to do so.
Uh,
Time traveling poachers.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're starting to see the dangers of time travel. If there's poachers, there would also be relic hunters.
oh. That sounds
Yeah, not so
eh,
good.
We need to get
yeah.
on the grind, people. Those dark artifacts aren't going to find themselves, damn it.
What do you mean? Miri looks at you.
He goes, if the crystals will not come to us, we must go to the crystals.
He looks at you very carefully. You already have one,
I
or you have the effect of one in you.
I'm hoping that
Uh,
if I get enough, it'll be like Three Stooges syndrome, and they'll get stuck on the door. And
Nice.
Ginger laugh, very good laugh, very good laugh. Ginger
Waka
laugh.
waka
So
waka.
you want to collect more.
Maybe let's go back and get them because they can't. Right now, you haven't made any of them.
it's such an ambiguous them because I don't even know where one is or what one is.
Right. Well, you did hold one for a while. You do have a vague remembrance of what was its name? Jasper.
Yeah.
Esper.
Oh, speaking of which, Mary, if you ever have time, could you send me back to Regulus's lair so I can get the World Breaker?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, you
How
left it
soon?
there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Just
you.
whenever you have time, Mary.
Okay. As soon as I'm done with whatever this is, it'll give me an excuse to step away.
Okay, so you're at the temple. Erebos is giving a homily about your childhood and how you grew in wisdom and stature and maintained your innocence as you grew, and that we as followers of Viridis should also try to grow in our understanding and our connection with each other because we are enough when we are the many.
She kind of shoots her head back at that one. Okay. Yeah. I need to get that rephrased. Uh,
That's been the Green's phrase since before time.
we are enough because we are many. There's something going on that I'm picking up. It's kind of
We're so glad to have you
annoying.
among us, Miri of Alwindale. We are so honored by your presence, speaker for Viridis, and of uh, an associate of the broadcaster himself. What,
Thank you
what
very
words
much.
what words of wisdom have you to share with us today?
She brings out the symbol because she has a tabard. She's wearing the tabard.
Of course.
Um, Meredith has a necklace with three interconnected rings.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to show you this because it truly represents what those rings stand for and why they're interconnected. And so she has her triangle of rings that all intersect.
Talk us through it.
And
The audience hasn't heard this,
yeah, I know.
so I know it puts you on the spot of actually doing some public speaking, but you are in front of the audience, which is the
These are the circles of life that we all live in. The greater circle is NYCOS. The three circles are within are sentient beings, plants, and animals. All three are connected. We depend on them, they depend on us. Wild or domestic, man or woman, male or female, we are all interconnected. And if one is not in good health, all will suffer. As NYCOS will suffer if the relationship between all of these are not maintained. Thus, we plow our fields, tend our sheep, our cattle, our crops, our flocks, let the wild places grow as they will and wild animals be as they will, so
Fun.
that all of Nikos will be at its best. That is the story of life. It is more than us. It is more than the animals. It is more than the plants, whether of air or land or under the land or ocean. We are all one. All life must be respected for what it is.
Unless.
That's her first most important rule that I've come up with.
okay.
In this respect of life, it is by little things we help the big things. that we take care of ourselves, our families, in turn, our communities, and our nations, and in truth, then, the whole of NYCOS. Because we make things good on as many levels as we can. That is what life is all about. Not just our lives, using the others, but all of us living together in the sense of the balance of the lives that we take an animal to eat. We also breed our animals to replace them, as do the animals of the wild do. And, and it is by our little works and our daily lives that we show all that life is intertwined. And that is what is the truth of the green veil. We depend on one another in, for all that is good and help try to guide others that walk outside to this truth, not by force, not by other means, but by demonstrating that the goodness works for all. Is it kind of
Yay! They're all standing up, clapping. It's not at all like their regular service, so they feel a little uncomfortable about it, but they're moved by your speech.
this is this is the part of the wisdom I have learned as with Veritas as my guide and teacher. And this is what I have thought about and why I drew the symbol, his interlocking rings, into this of everything interlocking.
Yes, and we've come to appreciate and recognize that from the emblems that you have left us, such that we do have three different services. We have one that is a cappella for those that only want to sing with their hearts, and we have a second one that allows for instrumental music, and a third one where we actually have a choral group that performs for us. Because we don't want to offend anybody, we want to be able to expand our horizons and embrace all possible people of
Then
faith.
why not combine all three in one service?
That would be nigh
Let
impossible because the persons that hold the view that a cappella is the only way to perform can't abide the instrumental music in the performance.
Hmm. Would it be too long to do it in? I think what my lady means is now maybe the service may be too long, but have one a cappella section. Oh, but I see what you're saying. The people who believe in the a cappella route will not tolerate the instrumental or the
Well, add to the fact that there are those that believe that the interaction with Viritus is only done through the heart and the eyes, where those that see the relationship with Viritus being a personal one inside of them, while a third group believes that you have to provoke his name in public in order to get a response from him. You'll
all
see that
three are
the biggest challenge of being in Greenvale is that every possible philosophy can itself become problematic because we are all the many.
I see all as viable ways that each of us may reach Paradise.
Right.
It is not important which way you do it, it's important that you do it.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be in the church. It could be, as I said, standing in the
Oh, yeah,
field,
yeah. But
standing in the forest.
but there are those that take your placement of these artifacts very seriously. For there are people who will make the pilgrimage to see the ring at High Peak, or to see the peak at the edge of Cauldron, or whatever. they won't actually use the gate because that would be too presumptuous. After all, it is literally the place where you have stepped as the spokesman to Viridis. So they actually do the long form walk, the 17 days to get to High
Oh,
Peak, for example.
I will.
You have to understand that to them, all of these different forms are their manifestation of their spiritual
She was
relationship.
hoping eventually that her clerics and others will walk those gates and
Oh,
help others along the way. Not
well,
you.
yes, but you haven't set up any ritual or rite by which they become worthy. Remember, you made such a deal.
Veritas
You
has
made,
made.
Gene. You have to realize that where this is coming from is that at the beginning, when you built the gates, you felt the duty and obligation to walk people through all of them from point A to point B. Remember, you did that with the
Yeah,
others that you took to um, Submariner. You
yeah.
you did that when you brought them back. Brought the other group back to um, Bridgeton. So therefore, they have seen in your way that there is a hierarchy.
Okay.
So if you don't quantify it, they will continue to splinter
Yeah.
and shiver it because to them it doesn't matter. Collectively they don't matter, but individually each person's holding their own agenda.
And then I
This is
will
the
have
problems. This
to.
is the problems of having a faith that's based only on what a person feels.
Yeah. I will have to go ahead then and help you understand that those gates are meant to help people move
Oh, we
to.
totally agree. No, we all agree with that.
Okay. So what do you need from me to?
What is the rite of passage? Literally.
I would say a cleric of Veritas.
Okay, so your entire druid following ship is going to be saddened. Casarek's going to like, great.
Wait a moment.
I got to take a level of cleric now.
But no, because the druids. Okay, druids follow him too. Okay, the
No,
druids.
druids. Yeah, anybody who's Greenvale follows him. There's warriors of Greenvale.
I think therefore it should be that. Does somebody need the power to use the gate?
No, you're the one who set the precedent, though, that only somebody who is ahead of them in the
Oh,
faith could lead them.
the gates I have established are meant to be used for the good of the Green
They
Veil.
totally agree with you.
And so, for those who cannot pass by themselves, somebody,
So somebody from a Red Veil could use your gate.
no, Green Veil. No, right now she's holding it to Green Veil.
Okay, therefore define that. What does it take to be a member of Greenvale?
You have to belong to the fellowship of,
What
of
does that mean? How often? How many services do I have to attend? How many prayers do I have to make? How many stations of the cross, so to speak, do I have to have visited or whatever?
On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your devotion to um,
Right.
the
there it is.
Greenvale.
Yes.
Okay. But I would say that,
I'm just saying you got your work cut out for you developing
yeah,
the religion. What's really funny is that you are being tasked with the part that both Cord and Umara did not pursue in developing their process towards godhood. You're actually building it uh,
now,
organically from within the faithful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want the people to move freely as they need to.
You need to build that. I'm just saying, don't have to do it in session, but just define that for
Okay,
me. We'll need to have that so that we can put it in the Viridian Veil
yeah.
on
Uh,
Discord, so people who
and
want to be able to use your gates will know what they have to do.
quite honestly, she said, there will some gates that I will indicate you should not travel to because of the dangers involved until such time as the dangers have been lessened.
mitigated.
Yeah.
Well, they won't move until you give them permission anyway. So,
Okay. Listen, the bridge, the one at Cauldron on the base of the hill.
Gene,
The,
Gene, verbally, you
okay.
don't go have to go through a
Okay.
point. You
Okay.
just know that you need to build that for us, and just type it in whenever you got time. It's just a little
Yeah.
homework project you can do in the in.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well,
I have.
you don't have enough NYCOS in your life. You admitted the other day that if I ran every day, you'd be in every session. So
Yeah. 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 I am just about in
I
every
know.
game
I think
session.
the only one you miss is because you're playing that other video puzzle.
Mm,
Here we go. Here we.
video puzzle.
Oh, remember that's what Commander Clueless calls the video games marketplace. You play,
Oh, 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 yes.
which is now I get to put my shameless plug for. Make sure you catch Iteration Nation on Fridays at 6 p.m. coming in the future.
Cool.
Um,
Right.
yes,
So anyway, she has
Yeah.
a lot to do. Um, and she goes about and welcomes each of the people that are there. And I'm glad to have you.
yes, they all come and shake your hand afterwards, and they thank you for your words of wisdom. And
Live.
there's several of them that want autographs. They want some, like a 6-year-old girl drew a picture of you standing
She,
next to standing next to Ralgrim as Ralgrim's doing the broadcast.
well, that's not exactly the way it happened, but I will sign this for you. He went up on the high hill and made his proclamation.
Yes, but
And
you were there with him in spirit. I know you were.
yes, I was. It needed to be done. And then when he needed to correct it, he corrected it. And so, and the other thing is, I would like those with a green veil, since all life is sacred, to extend the hand of fellowship also to the others who would learn the way of the green veil. For they are now a part of NYCOS. Their ways are different, and but those who come and truly seek, we shall certainly open our hands and arms to them if they wish to follow the ways of Veritas and the Green Veil. And this is something I have been doing since the moment they first arrived this time. Her voice kind of dropped off on
Yeah,
that.
exactly. What?
Yeah, um, nothing really of import.
Oh,
Again, there's some that will not, but those that wish to find a truer way of life are certainly welcome to join the Green Veil. And I hold any race that wishes to follow our ways is also welcome.
you're giving a second speech from the porch.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
And then she says, Kasarik, let's go find
Yes.
the others. I have one other thing I need to do. I'll find out what they're planning to do and we will
Of
coordinate.
course. Of course.
And
okay.
thank you
And
for your support.
as always, I'm here to help.
Yes. So, what was it? One other thing you need to do, Gene?
Well, I need to, somebody promised me some golden acorns and I need to go up to I want to say Glade, but it
It is
isn't. It's
Glade.
Glade,
Glade.
Morn Glade, and ask permission to plant a tree over where the child
Do you want
died.
to plant it, or do you want to offer them the seeds so they can plant it?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Is if would they accept this from me to plant where the child died? Hopefully to have, and then she'll give them the other golden acorn to to help regrow the forest and
All right.
bring the Nandrin back or the is it Nandrin? or are
In
they
Andren, yes.
in under back?
Well, no, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, the Indran are there, so yeah, it's to try to bring back the glory of the Inandara. Yeah.
Yeah, the glory of Inadara. And as I find other trees of great beauty, I will bring those back to you too as well.
Alrighty.
Anyway, so that's where I'd like to go after this. But I want to check with Cord and Jacob to find out what they have in mind. Because mine is a quick visit. I can pop to the ziggurat and then just walk up the road to the. Well, actually, she won't pop to the ziggurat because that dragon might be back and he's not happy with her. She might pop to the one to the north and then come down south on the road. The one that we put just below the hill at Dragon Pass, Dragon Maw Pass, or whatever it's called,
Hmm.
and then come on down the road back into the Elven Forest. She also takes a sign with her, posted at both ends. Thou shalt harm no tree of this forest until you have passed the ziggurat that's halfway
Well, you
down the
won't
way.
harm the trees of the forest. That's the easy way to say it.
Period.
Even if you're lumbering, you're still not necessarily hurting the forest if you're being sensible about it, planting for everyone you cut down, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, yeah. You could cause no harm. Well, actually, she wants to especially prohibit the forest from being harvested. That the same accident that happened to us wouldn't happen again. She wouldn't wish that burden on anybody, only because it was such a burden on her. It was such a, yeah, it was a life burden that of what happened. So anyway, we go back to the domicile. Um, have you guys all eaten and
oh
done
yeah,
what you?
remember these guys had the best breakfast ever.
Yeah.
Hmm. All done.
Um,
Um,
she asked her servants if they they could provide some good rations for everybody that we can have in our sack and maybe something packed for lunch for later on and have it ready for us in about an hour when we figure out what we're going to do next.
Okay.
So she gathers at the breakfast table or wherever and says, "Okay, Cord, what do you need to get done?"
um, I would like to discover what the arrow that the prophecies keep mentioning is.
Okay, we can have access to libraries.
Hmm.
I know there's one in Florida. I know there's one in
There's one here.
Richmond,
There's one
and there's
here.
one here.
I'd also
Uh,
like to play around with the world breaker. Those two things.
okay, so we will have to pop and get the World Breaker, correct?
Yeah,
All right.
because he intentionally left it stuck in the ground.
You do know I can make it smaller for you so it's easier to carry until such time as you need it. Because if
Yes,
oh, you know,
Gene. I think it's really wise for you to interact with the sword after you buried its relative. It might be asking you where to find it.
Oh, the sword? No,
well,
I'm
I
talking
have,
about the club in Regulus's.
oh,
That's what the world breaker is.
Oh, I thought you were okay. I thought you were talking about
Jacob,
your monstrous blade.
Nah,
what are you planning?
I don't know. I just don't know what it does, and it's called the world breaker.
Perhaps we should get it looked at by somebody with high level magic to see what it is.
I don't. All right.
Jackson, no?
Yes.
Do you have anything in mind that you particularly want to do?
Here in the town.
Yeah, in the Elvenville Valley.
Um. Uh. Maybe head to the store, like the. Let's see. Maybe some.
You can go shopping if you want, but you're just buying at a regular rate. They're not charging you extra or anything like that.
Hmm.
You might
Okay.
actually get a bit of a discount if you wink at the girl behind the counter, that kind of thing.
There are a lot of attractive folk here.
I'm not that kind of person.
Well, just because you're shy doesn't mean you can't give it a try. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more, says one of the young ladies.
There's nothing
Well, my other
sometimes so
copy of the
becoming
books
as
too.
somebody who's a little bit shy and reticent,
Oh,
and the girl thinks, "Oh,
She's
okay."
a little more bold.
She's a little more bold because she doesn't feel pressured to fend them off. Saserac, do you have any duties that keep you here, or are you free to travel?
I'm free to travel, but well, when I would like to learn more about, okay, in meta, what would I know about the prophecies that Cord just mentioned?
You know, you'd want to
So,
know about them. You hadn't heard
yeah,
about them.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with you guys to the libraries because these prophecies sound very interesting.
Okay, well, why don't we go to the library first? Then I'll
Yeah.
pop
Okay,
hit
and
cord.
I believe they are recorded in the Discord for those that are viewers that have Discord and have already joined us there. I can't recall where they are specifically. Do you remember? Maybe it's under shards.
It might
Uh,
be shards or it might be discovery.
Could be Discovery Channel.
I can't remember. I'm sorry. I know I've seen them because I went hunting one time for them.
Yes, they're in Discovery. I think. Yes, they are. They're PDFs you guys can pull up and look at. So
Okay, let's go.
okay,
So,
so you're
All right.
heading to the library.
okay.
The person that's at the counter here is let me go look at my notes here. Uh, yeah, Konda. Konda is the person behind the counter at the library. She's about looks to be about 12 or 13 years old.
She's one of
Although her hair is pulled back tightly in a single braid that's actually made of 7 threads. So they really had to work back there to weave it. Um, she has the marks on her upper and lower lip where her lips were at one time sewn together, and she has those black, no whites to her
pitch.
eyes.
Okay. She has eyes, but they're black.
Yeah, they're just the whole orb is just filled with blackness. It swirls if you look too closely. You just got to get mesmerized a bit because there's a swirling menace almost behind your eyes.
Can I use divine sense on her?
Um,
um,
yes, when you do, you will pick up a latent evil, but it's a benign. It's held in check by her position.
okay. Do you have any books on the prophecies?
Well, we have the prophecies themselves. It's been less than 126 years, so I don't believe anybody's written a book on the subject yet
Do
of
you
those particular prophecies. We have many other prophecies you could certainly choose from to explore and such like, such as the uh, the discovery cycle. There's also the uh, call to arms prophecy.
the discovery cycle? What's that?
That's the 6 couplets, I guess you would call them. They're actually not even that. They're just 6 lines of text that I guess they're couplets. They rhyme in couples, and they describe where you would find the artifacts in the previous iterations.
All right.
Of course, I do have to warn you. Already, as we've discovered by our own research, they're uh, they are not in the same analogous locations they had been in the past.
Okay. Do you have any information on what the arrow is that Initiatus refers to?
Uh, Actually, I'm not a scholar of the mod of the now. My personal pool of knowledge dates back almost two iterations, so I'm not going to be very helpful with this more recent, especially this more florid text of the iteration. If you could give me more specific details, perhaps I can help you narrow it down a bit.
All right.
So. In other words, pull
Um,
up the iteration and read to me the part you were concerned with, and I'll see what I can do to come up with information that might at least help you.
the arrow now turned back again will leave all in a state of unreasoned fury.
Wow, that does sound pretty scary. Um,
That sounds right up
I,
Cord's
I,
alley.
I do know that at a point in the past, all history books do have 12 days that seem to be in chronological reverse order.
12 days of never.
Yes.
I live
What
those.
does that have to do with the arrow?
Uh, often time, because of its straight and direct path from the past to the future, historically, has been called time's arrow.
Right. All right. Oh, and what's this Noah's Ark that's mentioned? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that does refer to an ancient text now lost, wherein there was a uh, patriarchal process that allowed man to remain faithful despite an errant world, to the point where the world became so bad that it had to be destroyed. Of course, that text has been lost, and we're not even certain whether that referred to uh, NYCOS or not, because there is no record of a global flood.
Let's hope no god reads the prophecies.
Huh?
What do you
Just
mean?
saying. In the meta.
Uh-huh. I'm hearing.
Nah, that
In,
was
In
in the
the
meta.
oh, that was a non sequitur. Gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, okay, so the arrow is just a funny way of talking or referencing time. All right. Okay. Um,
we
let
live
me
those
think.
days, Cord. We live those days.
Jezrek is gonna kind of start like fussing with his goatee.
Okay.
Could the and this kind of muse, could the arrow be a reference to the 12 days maybe repeating themselves at some point in time?
Oh, the
That
12
has,
is an annual event. Do they occur once per annum?
Oh no, this what you just talked about. It is new. I did not know of any such uh,
Do I still remember
12
that
days.
time?
Yes.
Cord, we lived that time.
Yes, I know. When the sun went back across
Exact-
the sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, I've got another question about the prophecies. What is the prism? Is that just the weird thing from another place? The heaven's light?
No, they are the weapons of destiny, the engines of fate. They are the tools of the great champions.
Okay.
Hey,
What?
champions that were or will be.
And where is or what is the prism's dream? What is that referring to?
Well, just as magic was led to its own sentience, there is a foreboding thought that perhaps the prism itself will spontaneously exist and therefore invoke its own wishes on the universe.
I'm not so sure that we ever want to get that prism assembled.
Yes, is if that were to come to pass, then we are looking at possibly an All Father event.
Forgive me and my
Historically,
narkness.
historically, in the fourth iteration, the discovery of the Black Book of Aranar led to a, if you will, a cult of sorts forming with the intent of bringing into fruition here the power of the All Father, a single entity to unify all gods.
Ooh. And can you tell me more about this Black Book of Aranar from the fourth iteration?
Hmm. Yeah, you might be better off to talk to some of the fanatics of the fourth iteration who are even now converging on the ruins of Neo Moria, hoping to dredge from its records the location of said item.
Doesn't hit any bells with her anymore, does it?
No, it does. It shakes your head because you remember having a black book.
Yeah, I know.
Very
But
cool.
then again, you also knew that the Book of Lorathal was black as well. So
Yeah.
Oh,
not that Musk would know anything about the Book of Lorathal.
Would he?
Anyways.
Did
Musk
he?
is
Did
not
he?
here, so don't ask him.
yes,
Yank.
yes,
I'm just
Uh,
yanking on.
Musk,
That was just Jonathan yanking on Scott's chain.
yes.
Speaking of which, I wonder. Hmm. Yeah. I'll bring this up later. Not now.
Okay.
I don't have any questions for you, librarian. You've been very helpful.
Well, just let me know if you ever want to learn any of the other languages. I do teach.
I'm struggling with common.
Hmm.
Thank
Yes,
you
but
very
he
much.
might be able to help you develop a few more.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be speech. I don't teach people to speak. I teach them how to read.
Oh,
Oh, he could
I
certainly
would.
help you.
Yes.
I mean, that's something that takes practice.
Yes, and I really appreciate the line you just said, Gene, a minute ago. Maybe the prism pieces shouldn't be brought together. That was awesome.
Well, if they're not don't belong to NYCOS, then she doesn't want them together influencing NYCOS. She has a very strong feeling about this now. You know, the things that are not NYCOS, which is it, um, in the meta, that damn blue stuff, and the shards, I think maybe are better removed from it. And then one thing she's
And the black
working
book.
on, and the black book. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see whose decision it will be in the end.
Yes, won't that be interesting when Valara and when Vala and Miri have to meet? Oof.
She might still keep her name. I haven't decided.
Yeah,
Or actually, might go with Valkyrie because that's what
that'd
her
be
father
okay.
was.
Yeah, the issue though is I can see Valkyrie looking for a bullet at that point.
Oof. Um,
Okay.
What a day that will be. Okay, so
Cross
What?
Rock?
Karazak, anything else you want to look at while you're here?
Yeah, you got anything?
Why would you know who want to kill Miri?
Well,
You want to deprive anything that is of not of NYCOS access to NYCOS.
I want anything that will adversely affect Nikos. That there's a difference.
Yes, I know. Nuances upon nuances. It's fun.
Yes,
yes.
Anything else you need, Kazarak?
No, he's just trying to figure out what this whole thing with the arrow means. Now that he has the information, he can't necessarily, he has to kind of,
Oh, and Jackson. Although you didn't come to the library specifically to find anything, uh, Erebos, the librarian, does bring you a book that suggests that there may have been a sec gen rabbit around in the pre uh, in the pre-revening days of the last iteration.
And they're not supposed. Oh, it's one of. It's got to be somebody who's moving through time
Oh,
in the meta.
Or well, it's either that or
Oh.
somehow the magics that affected Sec Gen was actually created earlier than we thought.
oh,
Mm.
Also
Hmm.
of note is that the references to the champions of the last age, they refer to one of them as Kitsune, uh, son of the foxes, which suggests that
Kitsune son.
one of them may have actually been a Sec Gen, which lends itself to the
Hmm.
Sec Gen situation being
I think
older than the
Katsumi
last
means
iteration.
fox. Huh.
What's that, Gene?
I'm trying to remember what the definition. I had a character that was Katsumi, and I was. It
In my
had
in
a
my in my
meaning.
in my world, they're called vulpine.
Oh my.
It's the Latin word for wolf. And a
Cool.
fox fit into that discussion.
Well,
That
if you're
description.
ready, we can take that jump to you know where you want to go, and then
Yep.
we can go up to the gate at Dragon Mall. And anybody have a reason to go to Bridgeton?
No.
Jackson, you might want to find out how your little ones are doing.
Well, see if
Uh,
Mopsy got home, because remember Mopsy was here in a mess.
and I would also ask you if they want to, they can certainly come here. I think it would be a good place for them to be, but it's totally up to them because you always have a place here.
Hmm. I'll take note of that.
Well,
All
remember that
right.
you guys only have a temporary home in Bridgeton. All you have is the Brightstone Manor, which means you're living with Umara's in-laws,
And if you want
and
to, I'm sure I
Umara's
can
family.
have an individual dwelling that you might want.
I
I
would
can take care of
enjoy.
that too for you. I'm sure without too much trouble.
Hmm.
Okay, she goes to the gate. We walk to the gate.
Okay, so you drop into Hell Vault at the gate, and then you traverse
Going up.
instead of going towards the town, you head up the mountain to get Worldbreaker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you also had some of your men there too, guarding it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
How long? This is more the coordinary. How long has this entity you call Regulus, this dragon, been dead?
About a day and a half now.
No,
Isn't it?
Oh,
it's
No, it's
been a
longer
couple of
than
weeks.
that.
It's been a couple of weeks because you came to Elwindale and hung out here for a few days. So it's been a couple of weeks.
I'm just
The glow is starting to drift away from the stunned nature that you had when you first
okay.
the glory is now being masked with the gore, that kind of stuff, with all the bits of dragon that were laying around and stuff.
Mm.
Okay, so nothing has taken up residence
Oh, he made
that
sure
we.
that that wouldn't happen. He's got Golians at the gates.
Well, that's what they're called now.
Yeah,
Goliath.
no
Goliath.
Golian, no
Gol-
Golian, G
All
O
right.
H L I A N.
Oh, it
Oh,
changed.
Yeah,
no, it's your.
yes, it did change, Gene.
Oh, okay. Golians. I
Everybody
Oh,
wonder.
knows that. You remember it. It's always been Golian, as far as you know.
well, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, it's almost like the other thing that they say my parents gave me to them
You
when
did.
I
They
was
did.
young, and it's totally what.
They
It's,
did.
it's
You were
okay.
deposited at the door of the church, and they raised you. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, great. She's confused, and yet I remember it now.
Right.
It was a shock at first, because no, that
You have
wasn't
both
me.
memories. That's the thing that's bothering you, is that
Yeah,
you remember the house, the happy household you grew up in, but that's not what they're describing. They're describing you as we're living among the orphans.
yeah. Okay, okay. We'll go on up there, and Oh, could you?
Okay, guards are standing their post. They ask you, did you see it?
See what?
The red object scream across the sky yesterday.
No, it was a red object, huh?
Hmm.
How big would you estimate it to be?
Almost, well, visually it had almost the same diameter as Nimbus, but it passed in less than an hour from horizon to horizon, in an unerring direct path across the sky.
Towards where?
And he points at two places on the rocks to the west and two places on the rocks to the east, showing where it passed. It passed on the basically the same elliptical arc as Nimbus, but it went the opposite direction, west to east.
Did it? Could you see what its shape was?
The sphere. I mean, it was in the heavens, just like yeah,
All right.
it was impressively high in the sky. Let's put it this way. But it did pass through and smaller than the arc of Nimbus itself.
With as they describe this thing, Kazarek is gonna scrunch his head. In meta, would they be describing Helios or?
No, what they are describing, A, is an impossibility. Even what little you understand of nature, Nimbus is the heavens, right? There's nothing beyond Nimbus. There are no stars, nothing beyond. So this thing had to be within the distance between here and Nimbus.
Okay. So
Where did it come from, and where would it go?
From those
Well,
two rocks to those two rocks.
Well, but it was in the sky, so it passed beyond your sight.
Yes.
well,
Right where those rocks are. It passed right over that ridge.
it's out of our control, so let's hope it doesn't.
He goes over and tries to. Oh no, I don't have anything that will help me
No,
do that.
you can actually, you personally, remember your ability lets you step to anything you see. So you can step to that
Okay,
ridge.
she steps to the ridge.
Okay. So from that ridge, you can see the mountain that is Cauldron. Its full mountaintop is there, and all of that, and you can see the ridge that goes north towards Crazy Jared's and the Dwarvish Kingdom to the north.
I don't see anything.
Nothing in the sky. Nothing.
She gets an angle on the. She turns behind her and she
Mhm.
puts the other rock directly
Mhm.
behind her,
Mhm.
and then steps forward to the next place that she can see.
Well, you'd just be on a ridge between Cauldron and I mean, it'd be just north of Cauldron. It'd be in those mountains. You've traveled that way before, so you'd recognize the terrain.
Yeah, I have, and nothing.
From here, you can see down into Kingfisher Hollow and the I guess you'd call it the Grimageddon, where the Grim were obliterated by the Secgen.
Okay, she doesn't like that either. She doesn't like the one killing between race and race. It serves not life not at all.
That's
Um,
not quite exactly true because historically species have gone extinct before, so it's not unfeasible. And this wasn't a genocidal thing either. It was just one army that was out of time. Remember, it came in from the fourth iteration to fight
yeah.
against the Secgen, and being out of there let the dragon back in and caused them to be displaced.
Okay. Um, so she turns around and just steps straight back to Hellbolt,
Okay,
to the Regulus's temple,
right. To
because she knows
to
it
the
well.
base of the temple, right? So you're base of the stairs.
I followed it as far as just north of Cauldron in the ridge of mountains, slightly to the west, and I saw no sign of what it might have been. nor any sign of anything that might have hit.
Mm.
I'll have to look into it later.
Okay,
Yes, let's make a mental note.
but but my limit will be when I come to an ocean. There's no,
Also, Kasarak, your knowledge of Nimbus also that you are aware that Nimbus affects the tides. So something that monstrously huge passing through would have done holy hell to the oceans. Not to mention the possible tectonics. You know, there could have been earthquakes and all kinds of horrible stuff, but none of that seems to have occurred.
That strikes him as
not right.
very. Yeah, that is totally against nature, so he would.
Yes,
Well,
that's exactly true.
Do you mention anything?
Are you going to mention it to them? Your fears there, Kasarak?
based on what our friend is describing, there should be signs of earthquakes or something. Something that big doesn't pass over without showing any signs of effect.
Hmm.
It, this does worry me. I want to investigate this further when we have.
Another thing to put on our plate, which never seems to get empty.
Mm, it's like it's the life of a hero, Mike.
Oh, and he pats your hand again, calling you hero again.
Kasarak, I do what I can do to the best of my ability. If that is being a hero, you can call me that.
So
But
what is your bidding cord? Your guards that are
I'm just
guard.
gonna go up and get something, and then I'm
It's
just
really
gonna
funny. You start to step forward and they go, "I'm sorry. You advise us not to let anybody go upstairs."
I'm me. I run this place.
Well, of course, you should be able to go.
All right. Well,
Yeah, but you got
I,
all this group of other people. Now
yeah, they can come.
but you're changing the rule. The rule was nobody else but you.
I'll tell you what, we'll stay down here.
Since one were Golians,
I'm just messing.
so
I'm playing off of Golian 10 intelligence thing. That's all. Just being silly. You have to
all
explain it to
right.
them again. I am the Torg. I make the rules. If I want to go up there, I can take my friends.
Yes, Dad.
And then as
Jeez.
you start to go up, they start to follow you.
Excuse me.
We're going with you.
Why?
Because they're your escort.
No, they're here to guard.
Right, we're guards. Of course we're going to guard. Of course we're going to guard.
Then stay put.
So we're going to stay here while you go up the mountain.
Correct.
Right. But
No buts.
what if we have to go to the bathroom?
There's a tree
There's
about 60 yards away.
there are no bathrooms, I don't think, in the temple. So yeah, like she said, nature's your friend here.
Okay, got it.
Enjoy yourselves
Doing what, sir?
Guarding.
guarding.
Right. Of course I'm going to be guarding. What else would we be doing? That's what we are. We're guards.
Correct.
And they turn
Right.
and they face up the mountain.
I love these boys. Let's keep going before I lose my mind.
Um,
You know, you need to find a good military.
He built the military school. They're all the tough guys he trained.
Yeah, they're tough guys.
I didn't
You
train
need-
anyone.
Yes, you did.
What?
You brought the P90 training school to Hellvault after your army was built.
I don't recall ever doing any of this. Did something happen with time that I'm not
No,
aware
sir.
of?
It's always been the way. You established the.
You had regular exercises,
That's
and they
right.
had to run in calisthenics and
That
beat
was for the
on
Legion
pelt.
of Lordly Might. I didn't think they had been active since the days of Cauldron.
Oh, they came back. No, they came back after their mission.
Yes.
Okay. I don't.
You're
Okay, all right, all right. Let's go get World Breaker, and then
Well, and they'd say, well, after all, you left your nephew, cousin in charge of them,
um,
and you're going, but he's dead.
yeah, I did leave him in charge.
Right. He's doing a fine job running the academy now.
Okay, well, obviously we got some things to inspect, but that's for another time. This is already taking much longer than I would have anticipated, so let's continue up this mountain and get this
Right,
weird.
right. So you want us to escort you then?
No, you just stay here. Make sure no one comes up and
Make sure
stab
no
us.
one comes up.
Make
Right.
sure no
other
one
than
comes
us.
up. Right.
Okay, make it clear. No one comes up other than us because you
Of
have
course not
allowed.
other than you. Other than you because Cord said you could go.
Not a single living soul, undead, construct, celestial, fiend. No
Infernal.
one, nothing, not anything. I don't care what they look like or what they say. They're not coming up this mountain.
Unless we come with them.
Not even then.
No, he
Um,
repeats exactly the way you said it, word for word. He says, except when we come with them. And you have to say, no, you stay
no,
here. And
you
make
stay
sure,
here.
and
Make
make
sure no
sure
one
no
comes
one
up.
comes up. Right, right. But if someone did come up, sir, then of course you'd want us to escort them.
If someone gotta come up, you tell them to shove off. That's what you do.
Shove off. What are they
Yes,
shoving, sir?
themselves.
You're pushing them off.
Tell them to kick rocks, or don't do that.
Mayhap, you keep anybody from going up there. If you
What is
see
your
somebody
position
up
in this
there,
guard force?
you
Are you in
push
charge here?
I was just offering a suggestion. I'm
I'm not
sorry.
talking to you, Mira. I'm talking to this bloke.
He's still talking to the Golians that are acting dense as rocks.
Am I being set up here? What is this?
Oh no, I just was having a little bit of Monty Python fun. The
Mm.
guards that are supposed to watch over the one guy who's not supposed to sing.
Oh, great. Well,
Yes.
Have you not seen?
Yeah.
Have you not seen Holy Grail? Because we've put it on the list for you then, if you haven't seen it.
me?
Yeah.
I
You
have
do
seen
know
it.
that I have
It was a
never
long time
seen it
ago.
all the way through.
I only
Well-
spoil the end.
These are the guard. Yeah, these are the guys that guard the prince
The-
and make sure he doesn't leave. But they keep coming up with reasons to come with the king.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's go up and get your.
Okay, so you
Well-
finally work your way past them and head up the stairs.
You know, we could look and see if we could find something for. Oh, that's right. That stuff may be cursed, and we have no way of. I could remove curse.
In all likelihood, Mary, the World Breaker is just going to be a bragging name, and he can probably have it if he wants.
Who's he?
Jackson.
But his specialty is not a club. His specialty is a sword.
Oh,
But he is also a champion, which means he has as his weapons of choice all melee weapons.
Ah,
So he can literally use anything. He could use a table if he needed to improvise weaponry.
Unless he has Tavern Baller new. I'm gonna go pick up the stupid hammer.
Okay, so you walk up. We'll Breakers on its little platter with the little emblem on the front that says its name.
I reach forward and I grasp it by the handle and I pick
Okay.
it up.
Now it is sized for a giant's use, if you may recall.
Oh. Oh, okay, all right. In that case, cool. I pick it up daintily.
Yeah, okay. So you pick it up, and it is got quite a bit of heft on it. It's an odd looking hammer. It looks almost like a meat tenderizer. It's got a jagged surface, like for breaking rocks.
look at the hammer he has in his hand. The bottom edge is all spiky and stuff.
Yep, that picture is you holding World Breaker.
Cool. All right. I guess I have to attune to it.
When you pick it up, Chubbs would say, no.
No.
No, 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 no. I'm your weapon of choice. You can carry that around, but if you try to attune to it, we might be in a bit of trouble because we don't want that thing. It's
Oh,
got bad juju.
It's got magic, you mean?
It's got
Chump is.
it's got very bad juju.
It's got magic.
It broke the world, okay?
No, it didn't. That's just like I call you Tarrasque Eater. You know, it doesn't merely mean you eat Tarrasque.
It
It's
doesn't.
just it's just a fun little name
If
that
I
someone.
choose to consume a Tarrasque and take on its power, why would I not do that?
Well, you can't because they're big and strong, and you're just a sword.
Uh huh. And my sister is just a wand.
Now you're getting the picture. It's just a figurative name.
Where is she,
So
by the way?
someone.
I don't sense her in your presence.
Um,
Oh.
You don't know anything.
Didn't when Mary buried the wand?
You
Didn't they
didn't
like
know.
fuse?
You didn't know if she did it. She left you and then went and did it.
What didn't? Okay.
Were you there? You
I mean, she
remember?
told me.
Did she tell you?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
so
Wait, Mary, did you tell me?
no, I've told nobody.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
she's literally trying to forget it. Literally.
That's exactly it.
I
This
don't
is
know.
all in
It's,
the meta. Okay, so he's talking about a wand. It just even wasn't a wand, so big deal.
Anyway, your sister's Mary's burden, Chubbs.
Yes, yes, but I've always wanted to talk to with her ever since we started talking.
I mean, uh, then ask Mary. Jeez.
I don't talk to her. I only talk to you. We only talk to each other. Because after all, I'm you.
Then you would want this hammer as much as I would.
No, no, we don't.
Yes.
We don't want to cause a world-ending event.
It's just a hammer in an ancient dragon's lair. It's not. I think you understand. Who here is the weaponsmith?
I don't
I
have
mean,
any hand, but I'll raise your other arm if you want. Let me.
um, who here knows? I know much more about weapons than you do. You've been sitting in the anvil for some time. The world's
Oh,
changed.
oh, cut me. Do I not bleed? That was cruel. You're the one that brought us up and woke us up. You're the one
I did not. Mary did.
Oh, in that case, you should probably give me to Miri then while you're holding that.
Ooh, Mary.
What?
I mean, then I won't have my terrascling weapon. Can I juggle you? Not like physically, but like, uh, you can be my main weapon for a while, and then I'll use World Breaker, and then I can swap back to you.
That's not how this works.
I'm trying to compromise. Can you meet me halfway?
Yes.
Okay.
We break World Breaker in half. That way its magic is lost, and therefore you can carry it around all you want.
Okay. How do I do that?
Oh, just to destroy World Breaker?
Yeah.
Just return it to the volcano from which it was formed. I bet you can't guess where it was forged.
Cauldron. You
Uh,
knew it has to be cauldron. There's no volcano there now. It can't be returned to the volcano.
It can. But that means you have to enter the Everdark.
ooh. Yes. Custer?
Kassarak's like going in the what? Going in the where?
okay.
I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not considering this. I'm just weighing options here. All right. I'll keep World Breaker. I'm adding it to my inventory.
Well, you suggest you're going to give it to Jackson. Give it to Jackson. Let him carry it.
Oh, okay.
Of course, it's the size of a giant's weapon.
Be
Now,
fine.
you can't wield it. I could shrink it, maybe.
Yeah,
But
mess
I
with its magic by all means.
mess with its magic. Can't most things be shrunken and reduced without losing the magic? Maybe not. I can't tell you. That nice fire giantess could probably wield that.
Yes. It has to be a worthy wedding present. Betrothal
I
gift.
mean, I don't. It's not. I'm not gonna get wedded to her. So
Do you know something? Before you learn more, you maybe you should visit the oracle that I visited. You have to take your gift of nature um, and ask about that weapon and the other weapon. You get two questions answered.
oh, uh,
In the meantime, you might want to leave it here until you find the true answer.
Or we kill the Tarask first, and then you can let me go back to my duties, releasing me from this burden of being your toy.
hey man, hey, that's a little toy. Do I
You
look like a
you
child
only
to you?
you're only calling me Chub. You're not calling me by my name, which is Cord, Torg Lord Cord of Hellvault.
People have called me chubs behind my back before.
But you won't allow me to call me me. That was the one
Cause you're
thing you're
not.
the one thing you're indomitable. No, I am you in all practical ways, except for the lack of motor control.
Um, you're not me.
I am you. I have your best.
Indomitable will.
I have your best interests at heart.
You
No.
could you tell me what my best interests are, please?
Yes, to take up your role as king of the giants, reinstituting the ordning with yourself at the top of the pile, and bringing back the glory of the days when dragons were served up as main course at your feasts.
Um,
Notice he mentioned nothing about you becoming a god.
he didn't mention. He mentioned a lot of political power there. He didn't.
Uh
He
huh.
didn't really mention
You,
any.
the only thing that you have not allowed us to share with you, the one thing that would make us truly we, is the fact that I have had a millennia of understanding power, and you claim to be looking for access to the information to raise you to the heights of all possible power, and I'm suggesting that I am the vehicle by which you achieve those things.
Mm, mm, mm.
Skeptical by nature. Can you show me proof of this? Maybe in a vision or something?
Sure, just grant me motor control and I can do it right here.
Okay, here you go.
Ah, no! No, that's the worst thing you can do because he'll take over.
Oh no, no, he's a creature of his word because this is Cord we're talking about. But you see him reach over and grab. Uh, Actually, he went into one of those fugues. He's been standing there for a while, not talking, Gene. So you'd be aware
Oh,
of what was going on. So if you want to try to prevent it, you can try to snap him out of it before he actually says yes to this. Because
she walks up. Oh, God, where can I actually hit him that might hurt?
oh, he's standing up perfectly still. You could probably climb up his chest. He wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, she'll jump up and just
Slap you on the
full
face.
arm slap right in the face.
Anyway, just you're saying, all right, you feel this crack on the side of your cheek, about like a gnat hit you.
Ow! That hurt. Oh,
No,
hey, Mary.
no, it didn't.
I was just
You
trying
have
to
to.
make you feel better about yourself.
Oh, thank you. Uh, you were communing with that thing inside you, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
What did he offer you?
He offered me access to power,
Limitless power.
Uh huh. And
unerring power, and
uh, that's
I think
very red veil of you.
uh,
No, Red Veil is not the
give up
reality.
control.
He's gray.
It was very
Give
yes, it
up
was.
control is actually not a bad thing because control is the opposite of Gray Veil.
Mary, next time we get a chance, I think I should go to the Oracle and ask her about the blue
Oh,
stuff.
it's real simple. It's just another jump, but you'll have to take a gift for her.
Oh, okay. What is she like? Like what kind of stuff does she like?
Well, I brought her some acorns from the golden oak.
Are you kidding?
Other people brought her. Well, there weren't a lot of different things because apparently
A
they
lot,
picked.
lot of people brought like food and clothing, the stuff that they had access to.
I would bring something that is is something Goliath's value because that's
Um.
for
Uh.
you a weapon you have crafted, an item you have crafted. I would think that would be a worthy gift. It could be something useful. I mean, after all, if you made a suit of armor, you could make a beautiful plate or bowl out of
A set of
metal.
a set of they call it stick free. We call that the pans that don't the food doesn't stick to.
Oh.
Non
Non-stick.
Non-stick.
Yeah, so yeah, make her a full set of nonstick plant pots and pans for cooking her cookies in.
I imagine some magic could help with that.
Wouldn't need it.
Uh.
Yeah, something like EverClean.
All
You can
right.
cook in it, and as soon as you're done, just everything just kind.
You just swish it away and then wipe it out with a dry rag and you're done.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the Hero Forge and beat out some pans, etc.
Nice. So you've made a full suit of pans out of adamantium.
Yes,
Oh,
I think.
adamantium. Sure. Yeah. Why not?
I mean, you have all that extra sitting around since you didn't use it to make the hammer.
Correct. Yeah. I will make a big like pasta pot. I'll make one of those large.
Two cookie sheets, maybe a cookie drying rack,
I'll make one of those big pots that people use to uh
saucepan,
yeah, saucepan.
and a grill, big flat like a
Also
cast iron pan.
a pressure cooker
Oh, nice.
and a deep fryer.
Oh wow, well,
All
good,
kind of
good,
stuff.
good, good. You're gonna yeah, you're set. It takes you a better part of a couple of days to do that, but yeah, you got all the material here to do it. Might as well.
While you're
Mhm.
doing that,
While
maybe
you're doing that, Jackson, you want to go read any more about this other rabbit?
Investigate. Uh,
At the library. Do you want to spend any more time at the library since he's going to be off making weapons? What do you want to do?
sure.
sure
I could read a couple more books.
Okay.
find out more about that rabbit in the earlier iteration.
You find that in another iteration, Peter was actually Devereaux, a sword wielding rabbit that protected the king in a dark time long ago.
Wow, he certainly has to begin to start getting around. While they're doing, anyway, I'll wait for that.
Yep. It was in a kingdom with a very boring name. The land was known as Lundoria. The king's name was King Lund, the 17th. They literally were a human kingdom that had done nothing notable since the first iteration. They protected their borders, they took care of their own kingdom, whatever, and it became known that the one of the rules of the uh, six. Uh oh.
We lost
Went
Cord.
Cord fell asleep.
I don't know.
He fell off the internet. No! Don't remember his name. Remember his name. Click your fingers. Maybe he'll come back.
Cord, a cord, a cord, a cord.
And it happened. Yay! She said your name 3 times and you reappeared. Well done, Cord.
Yeet.
Already practicing your deity power. Look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Summon cord.
Of course, it's also used by the evil ones to summon demons. So.
You can't really be picky in this life, can you?
Nope. Especially since the mantra is, "Are we still the bad guys?"
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So, you forged your pots and pans. Jackson, you read about Devereaux and this great protective scheme to protect the king of Londoria because the belief was that in order to ascend to being one of the heroes, you had to kill a king.
Oh, geez.
So he was protecting the king from being
Yes.
killed.
Come, D'Artagnan, we're protecting the king.
We got the Medal of Honor then.
Exactly.
So,
Pass
Got,
it
yeah,
got his name into the book. So now we know that Peter Cottontail's parents' name was Devereaux.
Hmm. Um, Peter's prevalent in
Well, once Peter found out about the trains, he's been spending a lot of time with his extra flyer miles from all of the hero work that he's doing. So he's getting frequent flyer miles on the Mavu Express.
He's having fun, I guess. Exciting life for a leperine.
Getting stories for to tell his sisters when he comes to visit.
Yeah. So anyway, um,
Right. You know where this Oracle person is?
She does.
yes, I do. I've visited twice. I've only used one question.
I used to.
Oh.
You went back for a second question, Gene.
Yeah, I went back, but I didn't ask it. Because when I
Oh.
started to tell her about it, it says, "Well, what do you know of it?" And I said, "I don't know anything." She said, "Perhaps you should find something out about it before you ask me your question."
True.
Oh, wait. Hold up. So you only get 2 questions.
Only two.
Well, that's the way the story goes. That when you go to visit her, you will hear stuff that only meant for you that no one else will be able to use, and that the information will change you.
The information will not change?
It will change you.
Oh. I don't think I should use my question on this sword then.
Okay.
I think you need to ask about what the effect of the sword is on you and what the nature of the Earthbreaker
Well,
is.
remember, Gene, you went and asked her. You tried to talk to her about the staff. Remember?
Yeah.
She said she could only see you.
I think, Mary,
Okay.
it's more of a...
What it is it split your personality. This is in meta. It split your personality to your good side and your bad side. That's your bad side, John.
Is it?
Yes. It's not
Bad side?
saying, in other words, it's been divorced from the rest of you.
But
And that's what makes.
The split doesn't necessarily have to be good versus evil, Gene. Could be
It's
law
chord
versus
versus chord.
could be law
the-
versus chaos. It could be power versus control.
Okay.
Wait, so I can trust Chubbs as much as I can trust myself.
Exactly.
No, you understand. It's a part of you, not
If you're
all
not
of you.
seeing the screen, I'm grinning widely when I said that.
Yeah. Uh huh. Beneath the mustache is covering it a bit. It might look like a frown, but it isn't. He's going, ooh, like Cheshire Cat. Indubitably.
Oh, wait a minute. Can we go talk to Blue Thor, the fire giant king, about this? Because wasn't he the one who recommended this to me in the first place?
Yes. And notice his name was Blue Thor.
Ooh, it's all coming together. All right, Mary, change of plans. We're going to Blue Thor.
Going back to the
Okay.
fire giant domain in
Yes.
Chantroa,
Okay.
which is now what did they came up with the name for it?
Jackson, you coming with us?
I have to
Kasterak?
go back to my notes for that.
yes.
Coming with us? Good.
After, hopefully this doesn't take very long.
Okay, that's famous last words. Hope this doesn't take long.
Yes.
Of course not.
Seems to be watchwords for Cord. Hope this isn't gonna take long.
Let's just go.
Okay.
And
We just stepped there because that's one of my gates.
Yep.
I need someone to watch my back and make sure that a certain fire giantess does not sneak up on me.
or do we want him? Yes, that would be kind of funny based on what
What do you
Catherine.
mean? It was already funny. Cord wasn't
Now,
laughing, but he got stinking drunk at the giant's table and with a great feast because we had rescued
And now
their
you're reminding
castle,
him of something he doesn't want to remember.
and he had a dalliance with a rather beautiful fire giantess, just
So maybe
you
we
know,
should
magnificent.
make a point of finding her before we leave.
oh yay, this is
Yay.
going to be
So if you go back there now and she's
awesome.
pregnant, what are you gonna do?
He wouldn't know yet, so you're still safe
You
at
Yeah.
this
wouldn't know
point.
yet, but it's
Excuse
been a
me?
while since he's been there.
Oh wait, that happened that night? I wasn't told that.
You weren't.
Okay, well
You no. You blacked out. You don't know that any of you know that you woke up in her chambers or whatever, and she was like
uh
dabbing your head with a wet towel because you were having horrible sweaty dreams from her scared you or whatever. So she was consoling you, and then you jumped
great.
up and left. She thought
Alright.
she thought sure you'd want to stay, but you didn't.
Sorry, guys, but it's almost 8. It looks like I may.
So
I
Kesserek's
may.
not going with us. That's the trick. He's
Yeah.
going to stay here and study the books some more.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, have fun. Goodbye.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, I might be back if it doesn't actually happen, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
if that other place isn't as cool as us, you're more than welcome to come back. I'm grinning.
Okay, we walk through to the fire giant's castle.
All right.
Castle Alphen.
Yes. And when you come back, there are banners, and particular note, there are Grolem heads on spikes.
Oh,
Oh. They must have cleared out that Grolem temple up the hill.
He's been busy. Let's just put it that way.
Well, let's just speed run this. Let's go. I walk up to the gate.
They open the gates immediately upon seeing you approach, usher you in. The place is on a state of alert, so that literally the gates were closed up, and as you approach, they lower them and open the gates and everything. But then once you come in, they close them again rapidly, watching the
Okay.
horizon line to make
do
sure.
you ask, what are you prepared for?
We're in the process of liberating this land of the dreck and debris of the ages that have corrupted this beautiful land and turned it into the broken ruins of Chantroa.
They're fighting back against the rook.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing you do notice is that there is a storm wall between here and the north, as if this is that whatever they're doing is somehow diverging from the historicity of the now.
Okay, I'm gonna put that down. Okay. All right, where's Bluthor? I would like to speak to him.
Bluthor, he's in his chambers. He's currently meeting with his war council. I will let them know that you're here, but he may be a while. They're actually planning the first of the sieges of Orichalcum.
All right, cool. We'll wait. So-
While you're doing that, though, they do say that the princess is accepting guests. However,
I thought she was just like a commoner, and her father was disgraced while guarding or something. Thought that's what the story was. Does that change? Has time changed that?
well, no, she's the daughter of the king, wasn't she?
Nope. She was the daughter of some guard guy who got disgraced, and she wanted me to help her out with that.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
Like a captain of a guard or something like that.
Yeah.
He had a good high position.
Yeah, but she's been elevated because of that, and so she's actually responsible for. I guess you'd say she's the steward when the king is absentia. When he goes on battles and stuff, she's left in charge because you had raised her father's reputation so well that she got to move into the ranking process.
Oh, good.
Right. Okay.
Because she is a fire giant among the other giants. Remember, they have this hierarchy that they're trying to reestablish. So.
That ordinary.
Aren't the highest the cloud giants?
Nope, Storm.
quiet. You don't mention those other two to a storm. You don't mention those to a fire giant because fire giants think they are the top of the heap.
Ah.
They're wanting to establish the ordning in their own order, especially since this. The argument is that the storm giants already knew about the chronological stuff, and so they may have actually been time traveling before.
Hmm.
So
All right.
there's some doubt on their authority. But you bring World Breaker with you because Jackson's carrying World Breaker, or did you? What did you
Oh,
decide?
yeah, of course I'm gonna carry it. Unless you want it, Jackson. In which case, I'm totally willing to let you use it and stuff.
It's a weapon just past your size limitations. You would have to have magic cast on you to use it.
I'll let him hold it because it's
Well, he can't really because the sword won't let him.
I mean, it won't let me attune to it.
Right.
Instead, it was fine with me
You carry
carrying
the
it around.
backpack. Yeah, you just put it in that bag of holding with the.
okay. I'll hold it for him.
Okay, and then Gene, you wanted to reduce its size.
Yeah, I can reduce its size.
Okay, so it's still heavy as all hell, but it's small enough that you can actually carry it in both hands.
Okay.
Okay, we have handled that bit of.
Yeah, but
fluff.
once it's known that World Breaker is here, the princess the steward will definitely want to speak with you. Did we give her a name? Do you have her name someplace?
I do.
It was Daphne,
Oh, it was not.
Abigail,
Nope.
Fifi.
No.
You know, fee fi fo fum.
No.
No, I was helping, wasn't I?
That's maybe it might have been his pet name for her. My little
They-
Fifi.
I mean, Excuse me.
I'm just teasing you.
You are so easy to tease.
Uh.
All of y'all are easy
Lael.
to tease. Huh?
Lael. Laele.
Oh, Layla.
Laylee.
All right, steward. Okay.
Stuart Lately does invite you in, and as soon as she sees Worldbreaker, she says, "You brought it."
Nope, that's mine. Sorry.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Jackson.
Oh, right. Yes, it's Jackson. Jackson's not giving that thing up for anything. It's his hammer, and he's going to keep it till he dies. Right, Jackson?
I carry it for him.
I see. It is his. That makes you his gift bearer.
No.
Oh, you guys are already following the protocols.
Not
That
at all.
is awesome.
It's a gift in the sense that I found it and gave it to Jackson, and it's now his, and no one else's, and no one will take it because it's Jackson's now.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Is this supposed to be a surprise? Is that it? Because if so, I'll pretend like I didn't see it till you give it to me.
It's not yours. It's Jackson's.
Well, no, I can't take possession of it until our vows are stated.
But it's not, and that's not happening. I've said
it
no.
Of
Thou
course it
protest
isn't.
too much.
Yes, it's Jackson's to keep forever _ forever.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Say
So,
it back to me. Whose is it? Say it back to me. Who owns the hammer?
Me? It's not.
No.
I'm not bearing it.
No.
He is.
Try again. You're almost there. Come on.
You gave it to a weapons bearer. That is so romantic.
Yes, I did give it to him. It's his. He
Yes.
owns it.
He does.
Say it with me. Jackson.
Jackson is the weapons bearer, and it is his burden to carry until such time.
Jackson owns World Breaker. Say it back.
Well, patently that can't be the case because he's not even Golian. So it's so charming that you, as a Golian, are moving your way up the ordning. I think that's really clever and charming.
Say it. Say it back to. Okay, fine. Yes. Of course, I'll give it to you. When I get back next
Yes.
time because I have a
Next
mission
time?
for it.
Wow, that's so
Yeah,
soon. I haven't had a chance to plan out the ceremony or anything.
ceremony. There's a ceremony involved with giving the hammer to giants.
Yes, of course it is. When you're taking their hand in a hand
Patrimony.
fasting.
I'm going to turn with a look of surprise on my face to Jackson. Jackson, I had
Yeah,
no idea. Congratulations.
but
She laughs.
what?
She laughs and kind of chuckles it off and says, "Yeah, yeah, we'll take care of this later, Dad. Uh, Blue Thor is now available, so
All right,
go
very
talk to
nice.
him. We'll carry on this
Okay.
conversation later in a more intimate setting."
All right, I'm gonna enter the room Blue Thor's
Mary
in.
is smiling behind her hand.
Blue Thor, what the hell?
Hey, hail, well met, brother.
Yes, it's good to be back. What the hell?
Oh,
Like,
we're cleaning house, just as we talked about.
no. What the hell did you send me to get that blue stuff for?
You asked for something more powerful than a Tarask. I named a thing that I knew was the most powerful thing I knew of.
Do you know anything about this blue stuff?
I know that the elves of Daya were so concerned with it they moved it south from its origination point, and that it was such a powerful thing that it split the Dayan kingdom in half.
Here.
You know anything else other than folklore?
How could I possibly know anything other than folklore? I've been trapped in this castle for how long?
I mean, you wanted it back. What? You weren't really trapped in the castle. We sort of got it back for you.
Yes, yes, I do remember that. I do vaguely remember that at one point you did a great favor to me. I can't recall exactly what that was because there's been so many successes in our campaign that the mountains are veritably trembling with the sound of the stone giants now fighting at night again.
Okay. Well, my question still stands. You aware what this blue stuff is? Like what it really is?
The stuff of legend,
Uh,
the power to destroy the world.
do you have any idea who would have deeper technical knowledge of it? Do you know anyone who might?
The elves,
Which ones?
the elves of Daya, the ones with the butterfly wings, the skull with the skeleton with the skull on their backs. I know you've seen them.
Hmm. Mary, do you know where to find these elves?
Miri, did we lose Gene?
Hello. You hear
Hello.
me?
Now I can hear you
Yes.
again. We thought we lost you.
Okay. Sorry. Um, you remember the Dayan elf that came to us with the insectoid upper body and the? You remember?
Tracks. I remember
Tracks.
him. Yes.
Tracks.
Yep.
That is now the Dayan elf. They
Okay.
were contaminated by some
Oh, according
outside.
to the book, Sixel, you would know the story.
Okay. Um, they were contaminated by Ixel. Uh, and getting in contact with their blood. Remember, he said not to touch them.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
getting in contact with their blood causes you to do the same sort of change.
Well, potentially, it doesn't necessarily have to
Potentially,
happen, but it is a danger.
yeah, it is a danger. Well, right now, I know of no JNL that is alive on this planet that is not that way. Of course, she's never met Freya, and she's not met Erwin, and
Right.
the other, I mean, like Mooncat. But
Do you know where
so,
we could find a day in elf who could tell us about
well,
this blue
if we
stuff?
can find what iteration this happened in, where they had to deal with it,
Oh,
I
so
think
they
it
the
was.
seventh.
Oh. All right.
It's
So previous.
just one cycle ago.
Cool. I'm sure we could go to ANA Shipping, set up a weapons factory in Hellvault, so I could probably go get in contact with someone there who could provide us a train trip back.
Oh no, they wouldn't use a train.
What they use?
ANA has its own proprietary methodology for traveling through time.
Ah, we
we
probably
would
talked to one
not
of these.
deal with ANA.
You already
That's
Okay.
are.
What do you mean?
Atherton. No, no, we can't. That's Atherton. I don't want them knowing what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
but ANA is the shipper of choice that brought you the magic items for the giants.
Um,
Um,
remember, yeah, but that means Atherton.
yeah.
And I,
Now you know that,
Regulus.
but you didn't know that at the time.
yeah,
No,
right.
Regulus was the one who set that up. He set up the
Right.
weapons factory when.
Yep.
So we could go back in time and look for some DNLs that will help us tell. That
I
would tell
don't
us,
know. Isn't that the now? Or
huh?
was that the then?
It's pre-revening, Gene.
Hmm.
All right.
Seventh was pre-revenue. Okay, we have to go back then.
Find a DNL. Talk to them about the blue stuff, or do something else. It's up to you. I.
I would like to find out about the blue stuff before we go on much further.
All right. Then let's go. I don't even know how to contact Mabu.
Mavu? Oh, you can. Occasionally, you'll see him in Bridgeton because he passes through there.
Okay, let's go there and find out if he's there, and if not,
All right. Um.
But you came
Thank
to
you,
ask.
I
Blue Thor.
Oh, if you don't want it, I'll take the blue weapon off your hand.
Um.
I wouldn't give it to anybody. I do not think it should exist on NYCOS.
We'll talk about that after I've completed my mission from God.
The Chubbs goes, you could, if you wanted to wield Worldbreaker, you could leave me in the fire giant's hands.
Yeah, but
That would be a step up for me, and he'd have a good companion that would be like-minded as he
yeah,
is
but
for the unifying of all giant kind.
that fire giant chick is really convinced I'm gonna give you to her or give Worldbreaker to her anyway, so I don't want to lose both of you. So let's go, Mary, back to Bridgeton, try and find Mabu.
Oh, yes, mighty Cord. I am at your command.
Oh,
Then she laughed.
I just want to find out about this blue stuff.
I
Where,
think
where
you
did
know.
Trax say he was from?
Vav Thrunder.
That's Render.
I have a Vanguard patch to that Thunder.
You do.
I do.
I do too. So we need to get a.
But he apparently tried to step to Vav Thrunder, ended up in the now, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Silver Falls.
But
That's
then
the other one.
he stepped away again and tried to get back. So there's that too.
He did eventually leave, but it was someplace further away, like Silver Falls.
Yes.
So if we can find the Vanguard, somebody in the Vanguard, and see if they have a Silver Fall patch, so we can go through.
All right.
Well, the Vanguard headquarters, as far as you know, is was in. Actually, that's kind of a bad place to be, but it was in Sasserine.
That I know. But didn't that get overrun with Grolem?
They got a combination of a Grolem attack on the one side at Red Gorge, but they also have the Submariner culture south of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
We can take a chance.
The city itself is a no man's land between them.
All right.
Chicken Scratch will take you directly to Sasserine.
Yeah, we'll go there and see if maybe there's some note or some sort of marking where we could track down the Vanguard.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's do that.
Okay. So stepping to Sasserine, air raid sirens are going off as you step out.
What?
Yeah, they put some kind of sound system in place. Basically, it's a large version of the what's that little spell with the bell? Put on a camp.
Alarm.
It's like a high level amplified version of alarm going off as you come into town, and the ground is shuddering and shaking from explosions.
Oh boy.
Most of the buildings are obliterated, and if it had been for the chicken scratch being built in under the cover of one of the basaltic stones left by Sarkham way back when.
Okay, let's find out what this is all about.
All right. So
Um,
they finally lead you to find let's see, Feldchar. What's his name? Just a second. I'll pull up his name. Tesseril.
Okay.
And is that right? No, Tesseril. No, that's Alec Tercival. I was thinking of. Shard. Yeah.
Elspar?
Felicus. The one from the one that you met way, 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 way back in time in Cauldron. Felian.
Okay.
Felian Shard.
Filling part. Okay.
Right.
He's sitting behind a desk. It's that actually looks like a map of the Sasserine Valley with marks indicating where the battles have been of late, and you can see that the Submariner culture has pushed back onto a beach landing again.
Okay.
It looks like it's tenuously held, and all that is there is a mechanical device that, for all the world, looks like a ring standing on its edge,
Hmm.
with a swirling vortex of energy from which they step.
Oh, it's like a gate for the others.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we need to find someone who has a patch.
Basically, it's a very huge expansion of what do you call it? A
Tele-
particle replicator. So you
Okay.
can actually use it like a transporter. You step through one place and step out the other, and they reconstitute your cells on the other side.
Yep. Dr.
Right.
McCoy's.
A little bit more like the one the Romulans built, the Gateway to Forever, where you could drive a ship through it if you wanted.
Ah. Um.
Think of the very last few scenes of Endgame when Thanos walks through.
I'd like to know what the state of this fight is about and why is it still going on. But
While you do that, I'm gonna go look for a person who has a patch to place tracks on.
Well, Felian's like, come in. We probably need to catch up. You guys probably don't know the state of war, and I also need to see how what the hell happened to Cauldron. I looked up there the other day, and there's no city. I remember there was one up there, but now it's some mountain peak, and there's like dragon bones spread across it. What happened
Yeah,
up there?
we got beamed. The others gave us the light from God.
Wow, you must have been one of the last ones they used it on, because I haven't seen anything like that in a long, long time.
Yeah, you're the
shall
last
we
people.
say that time has changed yet again?
Oh, that's for certain. I don't recall being the commander here, but
Your commander.
yeah, Sarkam, the guy that was here, was a gray paste on the wall. One of their weapon attacks basically took him out of action, so I got promoted. So,
Are they still not
Better luck
making
to
any
you.
overtures of peace?
well, worse than that, they now have some kind of a deal with the Tritons.
You're getting attacked from the sea.
Hmm.
Well, that's great. How are you holding up?
Well, we're doing okay, I guess you'd say. We're holding our own here. Basically, we're acting as a clearinghouse, as there have been a great number of refugees from the Thorn Claw. Remember the Rose Claw group, the Grolem north of us. They've now established in what was Red Gorge, and have built a fortress there.
Oh no.
Come on, Mary. We cannot get sidetracked. We'll do this, and then we'll do that.
Oh no. Oh no.
Set up a fortress. How many of them would you say there are?
Well, from our last encounter, it looked like they've expanded their numbers by bringing in Urglic mercenaries from the Dol Gul.
Are we talking tens of thousands, or
Oh, they only brought in like 1,000, but you don't know that you haven't dealt with the trolls of Dol Gul.
all right?
Okay.
What about the trolls?
Well, that's
Uh,
what they have. Is they have almost 300 trolls.
oh, well, that's not a good thing. Okay. Do you have? You still have your patch network, yes?
Of course, of course.
Do you have access to a patch to what was it called?
Silver Falls.
Silver Falls.
Oh
Well, I
yeah.
need to get there urgently.
Oh well. We still have the Silver Falls gate patches. But remember, you have to normally travel to that location on foot before you can be given one of the patches.
All right.
Where is Silver Falls?
Silver Fall is the name of the um, last great battle of the Dayan elves, just before the Revenue.
Oh,
Was
is
that
it?
before they were contaminated or after they were
Oh, it was
contaminated?
after. It was after. It was before. It was as they were bifurcating. Half of their Eldrin numbers, the ones who were pure of body and mind, basically abandoned the rest to their new fate, turning over all of the ancient lands and even some of the museums, libraries, and things of science that were left there.
Okay. So it's an event. It's not a place.
So we have to walk
Well,
there.
no, no, yeah, yeah. You have to. Well, that was the issue. Is that what's the name was trying to step from Silverfall to Vafthrender, but Vafthrender doesn't exist in the now.
All right. Where? So where is Silverfall? Is how far away would you say it is?
Uh, Too far to walk, and you get winded trying to run. Um,
Give us a general location. She pulls out the map and she points to where the fire giants live. Anywhere near there. She just asked, is Silver Falls? Point out where Silver Falls is. That's what she does.
sure. She points to a valley just south of Chantroa, along the Eldrasani Ridge, on the Coram side of Eldrasar.
Okay, any of my gates anywhere near there?
No.
We're going to need to rent an airship.
Right. You
Well,
got the coin.
I think the trick here is that you're not asking the right questions before you take off. Find out what they've been doing here with the Vanguard, because they
Okay,
they can help you. They just can't take you to that.
okay.
They can't give you the patch. Remember, that's the thing, is you have to earn those patches, and to earn them you
Okay.
have to travel by ground to get there.
How do we?
But I can offer you one that you didn't have before, because I know you've been there before, and we've just reestablished it because we went up and found the dragon's lair that was once that of Gautrod, the red dragon,
Mhm.
uh, left abandoned. There were only a handful of dwarves there, and they actually asked us to help them regain the throne room, and so we helped a guy by the name of Zenith
Yes,
regain his heritage.
good for you. Good for you. I'm glad you did. Gofford died in Cauldron.
Oh, is that the dragon that's wrapped around? I was wondering. It was awfully
Yeah.
big.
He went through some changes.
Yeah, he got zapped.
Yeah.
It, and anyway, he went there and was very angry at the others because he got zapped, and so he started tearing into it, and then he got well, like they did to Cauldron, they just burned the fritz out of it. So
Mm,
he got nuked. Well, she would use the
yikes.
word nuked.
Yeah. I got you. I got
He
you.
got fried.
All right. So that place. Let me go see what that place's name is. Da, 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 da.
Do I have? Let me see.
I need to pick up a good horse for Jacob. If I can find one of those steeds uh, of good endurance and speed, she would appreciate it.
Orion Steeds.
Mm.
Okay, so the city, the city name in Dwarvish is Ushabil Naledzar.
This is the
Ushabel Naladzar.
This is actually the mountain that was never named that Gotrod used as a lair. It's the
Yeah,
city that you went and negotiated with. Uh,
Gottram.
no,
Ushabil.
with the fourth iteration version of
Gottram. Gottram.
no of the king of
The king.
Zenith.
Oh, yes.
Zenith.
Zenith.
He talked to the black armored Zenith.
Yes.
Ushabil. What?
Naledzar. 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 So Ushabil Naledzar.
Ushabel sounds almost like Jezebel.
And it's in and what it literally is it's the name uh, Everdark and Undersky.
The ever dark under the sky.
It's the place where the two meet
Ah,
that the dwarves used as their access point for pouring out their warriors way back in time. Back when
okay,
they
that,
cared enough to get involved with the wars of men and elves.
1 second. I have to take a
where do you think we could
short break.
find one of these
I'll be back.
horses, better horses for him?
Well, there's a premium on them now. They're being hunted. So there are several herds of them in the Swarthir, as well as the major herd, which is still in the Neomoric Valley.
How far are they off our beaten track?
Oh, impossibly far. Do you know how far Selk is to the south on Yarlum?
Yeah,
It's that far south on Grolum.
yeah, and I have no sort of gates down there at
Nope,
all.
nope. So your better bet is to try to find one elsewhere. Of course, Jackson, you're fourth level, fifth level.
Uh, Wait, hold on.
You what?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're fifth. Right. Um, well, for the past couple of nights, you've had a difficult sleep. You've been able to get to sleep, but you're tormented and you can't really place what the dread or the fear is that you wake up with in the middle of the night. You know, in a pool of sweat. Something horrible is going on in your dreams. When they mention that name, Oshabil Naledzer, you remember that name from your dream. That there's something there. There's something that ties that into your dream. Because as they say it, you actually finish Naledzar.
Do you know the place? You know that name?
It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it's just an unnameable dread that you wake up with the last couple of days.
Okay. She just leaves it at that. She's not going to pressure him. There's no reason to pressure him.
Sure. Well, if you're going to be traveling, would you want to stay the night? We do have our evening revels before we retire.
I think I have no objections to staying at all. But the others, are they now at constant war with you? Or is it just the Tridents?
Tritons? Well,
Tritons.
Tritons are basically, it appears to be being used as their shock troops because Tritons aren't known for being spellcasters, and yet there are a lot of spell-like effects that are coming from them. suggesting that they've made deals with something even darker under the water.
Ooh,
He who
spooky.
comes. He who comes. Maybe that.
I don't know. I don't know. I do know that they got contact with the email servers before we did.
Okay.
Of course, you don't know what the hell that is. They just said what an email server is. Doesn't make any sense to you.
What
It does. It's
do you
King
know
Kush's
what they
service.
want? I mean, do they just want that
Oh, that's
piece
right.
of
You do
land?
know about it. Okay, you do. You'd heard about it because King Kush's folks are the ones that created it. Okay, so yeah, you're familiar with it. Yeah, an email server literally is a gnome adjutant who is able to translate the signals that are brought in by the system.
Okay. The other thing is, if we ever gotten an email back,
Where did you send them to?
I send it to King Kush. He says, "Oh, you have the solution, but what's the question?
Oh,
Or what? Yeah, what a
he
solution
says
to
you can
what?
check. You can check with our broadcaster here.
I
Uh,
will check.
yeah, he's Theric Crane. He's in the basement.
Derek Green.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And yes, we'd be delighted to join your revels this
Okay, when you
evening.
say that, who should come in the door clapping her hands but the beautiful, vivacious, and dark-skinned, dark-eyed beauty of the steward?
Of
I'm
the
so
what?
glad you're staying.
The, the who said who?
His betrothed.
Oh,
She was literally standing at the door eavesdropping, and
oh,
got overwhelmed when you said that you were going to stay. That she just comes into the room clapping, glad that you're going to stay for the party tonight.
okay. I thought we were in Sasserine.
We are in Sasserine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bad. My bad. I thought this was going on still in the. That's what
No,
my head was still in the dwarf king, the giant's lair. Sorry, my
yeah,
bad.
Cord removed himself as quick as possible from that.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, it's too bad because I liked her.
Yes. So,
And why don't you marry her, Goddard?
I can't beget children with a female. Sorry, it's not the way it works in this world.
I mean, to quote John, you'd be surprised at what they can accomplish with magic.
nice, nice. Mr. 10 intelligence all of a sudden is predicting spellcasting. That's great.
Mm.
Ah, um,
All right. So they do. I was that whole festivities thing. They have to do change that. They do have quarters for you, but they will be a tough night sleeping here because of the explosions and stuff that are going on. They others don't let up.
where are the explosions coming from?
From the warcasters that they brought with them that are on the beachhead,
How far are they away from where I am?
about a mile down at the coast.
Could I get closer to the coast, pick up a whole bunch of water, and douse them?
You could try if you want.
Just for this place to have peace for the night? Okay, she will.
Okay, so you're gonna head down to the front,
Yeah.
the battlefront, as you will, and there is a pretty clear line about 2,000 feet of no man's land between the two lines. On the one side, you can see sand castles, way more ornate than anything that you could do with a shovel and a little bit of water. But
Yeah.
the land-based troops of Sasserine and such will do damage to one of them, and then after 3 or 4 shots, it'll collapse and fall to the ground as another one forms someplace else down the line. So it's very visually kind of amazing to watch the battles of the sandcastles as they fall apart and reconstitute. So it's almost like the rising and falling of musical notes as they gain different elevations as quickly as they can before the next volley comes in.
But how are they forming?
No, there's somebody behind it that's casting magic spells to create to create.
Huh. Why can't they leave each other in peace? Is what you can't figure out. Why do they have to go to war to settle a problem that should be best discussed by diplomacy? I wish
Wouldn't
I
know.
had.
Wouldn't know. You go down and try to talk to them. Flag of
Sure.
truce or whatever.
Yeah, I know once before she was killed outright that way.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you.
I'll be here to pray for you.
She leaves the Alacaster with you?
Like I can do anything with that, but okay,
You
I'll do my
can't, but,
best.
Theo could use it.
well,
You have to go back and get Theo. Theo could use it.
Cool.
yeah, you should be taking Theo with you.
I
I
thought you
mean,
had been. I just was clarifying that Theo was. You can't. You wouldn't be able to do anything with the Alcaster other than protect it. But Theo could use it for its effect. He watched it enough times.
and that way,
Alright.
that way he could bring me back if I die. Oh
Good
God.
luck.
Okay, so you're heading down to the.
Yeah, she's just walking down, and she carries a.
Reminder of every blow that cut her till she cried out in her anger and her pain, I am leaving, I am leaving. But the fighter
Yeah,
still remains. I'm sorry.
and she has a. She's not sure, but she has a white flag, and below it she has the symbol, kind of like a. Well, she's wearing her tabard, and she just walks down till she is can be visible to someone and stands there.
Okay, so you stand there. The shooting uh, lessens, the artillery bombardment, if you will, slows down. And uh, out of the water comes a group. They are literally surrounded by a bubble. And so
Okay.
the surface of the bubble doesn't break until they're all basically head and shoulders above the water, in which case then it does break and they slog up the rest of the shoreline. As they're approaching you, one of them walks with an easy confidence that is disturbingly familiar at first, and then shockingly revelatory in that it is one Margaret.
Margaret P. Carter?
Yes.
She said she waits. She she doesn't know if it might be a trick, but she's kind of hoping it is Margaret.
She comes walking forward with her retinue. Several of them are generals that you saw during that bit where they had you captured.
Yeah.
The ones where they poked and prodded you and all of that.
Hmm.
But they are obviously secondary to her. She's got emblems of basically eagles with their claws distended on her shoulder, on her epaulets.
Much has changed since I last saw you, Margaret P. Carter.
She goes, and a lot has changed since I've seen you, Miri of Elwendale. I see you still travel with your boy toy, and nods at the giant.
He is a king in his own right.
Yes, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. He was definitely something you had a choice for back in the day. I do recall that.
She just smiles. He's very much his own person,
Yes.
not mine.
So what can the Terran Submariner culture do for you?
I had come to wonder what we could do to stop this constant warfare.
Is that what you came for?
Truly, I can't understand The first time I came in peace. I come in peace
Somebody's
again.
microphone's open. Is that Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your microphone's on, so we're hearing feedback from Mary.
Back from Mary.
Just mute for a second, please. Thank you.
I you were once something you called, and she holds up 5 fingers, column, and
Yes,
you said there was good in your people.
yes, yes.
Is that
And uh, the senseless violence visited upon us both at Submariner and at our other landing posts along the coastal regions have all but eliminated the amity that you and I once shared.
I'm sad to hear that.
It
I was
is it is the result of a subject people not knowing their place.
what people do not know their place.
She kind of smiles enigmatic and says, "Didn't you just figure that out?"
You.
We belong here. We were born here. We are narcos. Nar- Narcos is life, and the
Yes,
circle of life includes us all, even
yes.
you.
Nice platitudes coming from a caster of spells and a person who has truck with the demon kind.
Demons. I do not have truck with demons.
Well,
I am totally against those that do not belong on this plane.
in that case, you are the nemesis for us because we are to be here by
Okay, wait a
contract
moment.
and
A different plane. Do you understand planes? The infernals, the abyssals come from another plane of existence,
and
not
how
another
is that any different
place.
from Terra?
You come from another place. Apparently, you are here now and here to stay
Yes.
for for the betterment of
And so
NYCOS.
far, our only allies that we found are among those who have already died and those who live beneath the waves.
I can't speak
But
for
that's not
all.
what you came for, was it?
I was hoping to again
I
drop.
intentionally red herringed Eugene by putting Margaret here. What was it you came here for?
I came here to
Access to
stop the
Silverfall.
bombardment.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Do you remember what she came here to do, Cord? Because I don't think she remembers.
I
They're
came
gonna
here.
get a patch to get to Silverfall, so you can talk to a Dan Elf about the blue stuff.
That I know about. I'm talking to Margaret now, and that has nothing to do with Margaret.
All right.
Margaret is asking me why am I here, and she had walked down here to stop the bombardment for a while so people could have peace.
Okay.
Oh, so we're talking about a ceasefire. Sure. How many hours this time?
I'd like it for the rest of our lives,
Well,
but
that is not happening.
I have no control right now.
If you would get them to stop interfering with our mining operation, I might be more
But
amicable to
aren't
such
you
an idea.
mining Vex or Limb, whatever you
I
call
do
it?
not know what this limb is of which you speak, but
The
yes,
silver stuff.
we're pumping out the Vex as quickly as we can, getting it prepared
That
for
is
shipment.
the lifeblood of NYCOS.
So you say it's a renewable resource. Comes from the sun. We already determined this by
Do you
our
know
own
why this
sciences.
place can be inhabited?
Yeah, it's a series of very fortunate and virtually unexplainable physical phenomenon allow for a Goldilocks zone to occur in a binary star system if the primary is close enough to provide a energetic field.
Oh, that's one way of putting it. It's because Vex is the essence of magic, and
Mm.
it's magic that allows this effect. Destroy that. you destroy NYCOS
Well, I'm
and all life on NYCOS.
I will grant you a 36-hour reprieve, but you got to give me that 36 hours of unlimited access to the pumps on the shoreline without interference or sabotage.
I'm sorry, I cannot make promises for other people.
If you wanted your 36 hours, you would.
I will go ask and return. Grant me at least that.
Well, yeah. I'll go ahead and deploy a team to the wells on the understanding that we will have this liberty, and so expect that to start in exactly 1 hour while you go do what you need to
Do you have a limit to how much you're going to take from our
whatever we
planet?
can do in 36 hours.
No. In your grand scheme of things, is there a limit to what you are going to take from this planet? Or do you plan to rob it blind like you did your own, which is why
Well,
you're
that's
here?
awfully cruel. We didn't have any Vex in our world. People actually suffered
No,
and
but you ruled
died
your
from
worst.
disease on a regular basis. People didn't have a way to be cured or even being brought back from the dead, and yet here that seems to be a very real possibility if you properly understand the mechanisms of the Vex.
I understand much more than I did when I first met you.
Me too.
Yes, but you're not the same woman I knew. You said there was hope in your group of people to be different than those that tried to wipe us out, root and stem.
Yep.
What changed?
Um, about 3 months held in a dwarven fortress under the water tends to
I'm glad you're
darken
free
your
of that.
view. Darken your view.
I kept on having Rogrim on the off chance that you had died, try to bring you back.
Yes, but when you are no longer in this mm, present and someplace else altogether, you've never visited the Black Sea. You wouldn't understand.
I'm sorry you were taken and held. I will go and ask them if they'll grant you 36 hours.
I will attempt. I will assume that you will be successful and begin my 36 hours as you leave today.
Okay. I can't guarantee anything, but she'll go back and put it
It'll
to
just be
them.
it'll just be redoubled if you welch on this.
Listen, I said I would go and ask, and you're assuming.
The reason why I'm assuming is that everyone knows that you are one of the paragon. You are the first line of defense left for your tiny world. If anybody can pull this off, it'll be you.
Yeah, remember, she's looking at a 17-year-old woman child.
Yes,
Woman.
but you dropped 600,000 gallons of water on one of my encampments and murdered a bunch of people. Got washed away. Remember?
It was a million gallons. No, a
Yes.
million cubic feet. So,
Yes.
yes, I did.
Right. So don't be
And I,
surprised if
I was
I.
about to do it again, but I will take your message back. And
Okay.
my hope that they will relent this night.
Sure. Right. So you make it back to camp. The sound of blasts ceases altogether, and it's uncanny how many birds and animals that you'll hear as the sound of nature fills the gap, the void in the conversation.
Okay, she
Excellent.
asked.
Felian says, "Welcome back. What'd you find?"
I found a person I was looking for, but she is much changed. She apparently leads those that of the submariners that work under the water.
Mm, that does
Her
sound
name is
scary.
Margaret P. Carter, and I think she has risen in the ranks of her kind. Um, I told him while I was there to kind of like silence all the bombardment. She said
Well, it
she
seems
gets
like they've done so. So what is it we have to give them? I suppose it'd be the same
30,
commensurate they asked for last time, 36 hours, right?
36 hours.
Yep, that's 6 turnings of the pump. So that's about 6 cubic acres of fuel.
Oh, God. Do they still have their guns that they carry? Or have they?
Some of them still do employ those hit and run tactics. Most of them have surrendered to more conventional blast magic and things like that are easily picked up. Apparently, some of them have attended the Wizards Academy that was set up for a while in
Fulcrum?
Fulcrum and have learned the basics
Not
of,
Fulcrum, Florin.
yes, of Florum, but they've learned the basics of bombard magic.
Okay.
Cool. You got what you came for, man?
Yep, you got your 36 hours of sleep, so you actually can rest and relax for the night.
Good.
Yay.
I wanted more than that, but she did not seem to be willing. They are so set on drilling for Vex and taking it.
Yep.
I remember what Roldrum said to release the magic. I wonder what would happen if after they pumped it, I released it.
Hmm.
All he said was free the magic. And I saw him free the magic.
Yep. I've seen it unleashed too. You would not believe the things that they're able to pull off now. In one case on the western front, um, near the western part of the westernmost part of Sasserine, they came on the shore as great tentacles of some horrible beast, and they dragged an entire contingent of cavalry, including the horses, screaming into the water.
Very epic.
Yes. Fortunately for us, it was relatively short-lived, and apparently was quite taxing on their warcasters because after that, and after our losses, we had a chance for a counter strike, and we did basically capture their well house, and that's why they keep having to come to us to request resources back. So
Hmm. How about um?
How do you know about how many are left with their guns functioning?
Didn't all the guns crust up?
the only ones that don't are those that are in the hands of an active assassin who's actually building his own bullets and everything, keeps this gun absolutely maintained, meticulous for the purpose of doing bad things with the guns. It's a matter of intent.
All right.
Those who are drawn to other tasks and not actually pursuing the hunting portion did lose their weapons fairly quickly to the effects you're talking about. But there are probably still 20 or 30 rifles out there at Cesarine, meaning 20 or 30 assassins.
Okay.
Rumor is that they made a deal with this. He called it the leader of the dead. Somebody known as Pasty Face to carry their vessels to the surface.
Who did?
Pasty face?
Yeah, that's the gnome de guerre. He's actually some form of either a lich or Manez or something. He's something that's not alive and not dead.
What who used him to get the vehicles to the surface?
Say that again.
Who used face to face to get their vehicles to the surface?
The submariners.
What
Alright.
vehicles are they talking about that they brought to the surface?
Oh, they landed a Mark II. We had a hell of a time killing it.
Yeah, and if you kill it the wrong way, it causes a storm.
No, that only happens if it's a person who's got a piece of crystal. I don't know anybody that had that in their pocket at the time or anything.
Actually, I do know somebody. Who has.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. Which leads me more and more to believe that the shards or the prism should never be reformed.
And the White Veil would be very proud of you.
They can be proud of me, but I'm more concerned with NYCOS as a whole than how they feel.
Alrighty.
Some way, somewhere, I
So-
have to be able to get through to them. My life work, I guess.
Probably.
Okay, we stay the night. It is calm. It is peaceful.
It's calm and peaceful, except for Jackson. Jackson, in the middle of your sleep cycle, you see a brilliant. Gene, you're gonna have to help me with this. What is the height of a warhorse historically?
Historically,
Yeah, the big ones.
the big ones. Well, the destriers were the biggest ones. Those are tournament horses.
Right.
But if you're talking about an actual war horse, 16 to 17 hands. And then if you want to go to the big fancy horses that they used in the King's tournament, who didn't need a lot of energy and long distance travel, then they had the destriers.
No,
And
it
they
wouldn't be
could
the
be
destriers. It'd be the practical warhorse. So, in your dream, you
16
see
to 17 hands.
in your dream you see a 17-hand warhorse, a halter around its neck, and additional ropes over its shoulders, holding it in place. The animal is clearly terrified and crawling towards it on multiple black insect-like legs is an abomination. A black, slippery-looking creature with about 36 legs. And the creature is apparently terrorizing the horse, poking at it and prodding at it, deciding whether or not it's succulent enough to eat.
What do you do in your dream state?
And then in the dream,
Yeah, you're in the dream. What do you do?
let's check
You're seeing
that.
this horse across the distance from you, being
Uh.
tormented by this horrible beast.
How far am I?
Oh,
You can run there.
you're within charge range. You're a dream, so you're where
Oh
you want to
yeah, I'll charge at it.
be. Okay, as you charge towards it, the creature seems unable to actually eat the horse. I mean, it literally acts like it's trying to get to the horse, but a brilliant sphere of white around it forms. The white light, the brilliance of the white light, quickly shimmers and divides into the many colors of the rainbow, so that it's a strobe-like effect of all shades. As you're going towards the horse, you hear in your mind. Let me go see. Where's my list of names for war horses? Just a second. horse's name you somehow hear in your head is the Lumithlar, and it
Blue myth.
literally in Eldrin means enlightened one. As you're approaching the horse, you see that it is a bit of an aberration itself in that it has 6 legs, not 4,
Uh,
and that its hooves, as the hooves stamp on the ground, they emit sparks and flame.
uh,
And the horse looks at you across the distance and says, "You have come for me, Jackson. You must answer the call. Receive the call, and you shall redeem me."
wait, redeem?
Redeem. I mean, you shall save him.
How? How
But
am I? So it's
how
a
do you
charge.
do it? You have an ugly beast trying to
It says,
harass the horse.
and it's and the voice keeps saying, "Answer the call. Accept the call. Answer the call." And you wake up.
How do I?
Exactly. You wake up in a pool of sweat, not knowing what that means. But now you've got a very clear, tangible. This. What's your? Have you ever? Do you know what? Do you have a preference for what a horse would look like if it was your steed, Jackson? What do
Uh,
you have in your mind's eye as far as a beautiful horse? Is it black? Is it white? Is it paint? Is it roan?
black.
Palomino, all gold with white mane and tail.
Is it Appaloosa with those little grayish spots on its hindquarters?
I'll go with the black.
Is it Lippenzahner? Yeah, it could be.
Black. Oh, Frisian. Frisian. I got to send you a
Yes.
picture of a Frisian.
Yeah.
Wait, once you saw it, you go, that's it. That's it. That's what I want. They come in one color, black. Anyway, so you wake up in a cold sweat, and what was the call?
So you don't know the answer to that question, but your friends might. That's what I was trying to get at, Jackson.
Kiki, come on. Had a
Hmm?
mama.
Uh,
So morning comes, we get up, we know where we're going. We're going to Zenith's place.
Alrighty, and I'm trying to find a picture of what she looks like.
Look up the word Frisian.
I did. I did. No,
F-R.
I found. I'm looking. I found several.
Aren't they beautiful? I own 3 purebred mares. Oh, I own 4 purebred mares and 1 stud colt. And then I own 2 half Frisians. You gods, my herd is growing again. That's 5, 7 horses.
Wow, that's a lot of dough.
Oh, yes, it was.
Just a second. All right. Now I'll be able to share it with you. Just a second.
You should look up the one called Uldrick. There's a stallion, Uldrik.
Except
Oh
this
my
one's a
God.
mare, so you don't want it to be a stallion.
Oh, this one's a mare. Okay.
Lumithlar is a mare. Okay, so now I got to see how I can share it here. Back to. It'll be on the Discord. It won't be on.
Zoom.
Yeah, it won't be on
Okay,
Zoom.
we can go look on it at Discord.
I'm gonna put it in Splinter Speak so everybody can see it there, and then we can move it later. Da, 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 da.
Would it be in Splinter Speak?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in Splinter Speak. Just a second. Don't know if that'll work or not. It's saved as one of those stupid JFIF things. I don't know. Don't know enough about them to know how to fix it. So.
I'll see if I can't get a picture and upload it. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
there's one I have that's it's in the rampant pose. It's like it's rearing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, good. Oh, actually, she's jumping.
Yep.
She's jumping. Just leave him in the air for joy.
Yep.
But they come in one color, black. They have feathers on their legs, not as heavy as a draft horse,
Right.
and they're called a heavy horse. So they're very much a precursor of a knight's horse.
Yep. So there you go. So
And
that's what she looks like. So now you know what your horse looks like. But it's six-legged and there's fire coming off of her hooves.
Wow. I have to answer the call, whatever it is, if you want to save her.
Well, that's exactly what she's asking for. So.
But
he doesn't know what that is, so he's going to come to you guys and ask you what does it mean to answer the call? What do you think that means?
Oh, I think I know what it means.
Well,
See,
then
look
explain.
at it. I think you're being called by an avatar or a god to a service, and
Oh.
quite
Well,
honestly,
specifically, it's the historically. This would be. You could also do this by looking in the books at the library. Historically, a knight would gain his rank as a paladin once he started having the dreams of his warhorse.
Oh. Cool.
And would receive the orders of his knighthood once he achieved the rescuing of that warhorse.
cool. Then I think you should answer the call when your dream comes again.
Which just means that the next time you have a level to gain, you'll want to take it in paladin. So you can start the course when that's answering the call.
Cool.
So you have a quest, Jackson. Yay!
A quest.
Yeah,
Yeah, a quest to become a paladin.
it's a piece of the plate that's just yours. No one else can finish it. No one else can get the horse free. It's going to have to be you.
Oh,
And it just means when you get your next level, you take one level in Paladin, and you have answered the call.
And what that will then do is that will unlock where Lamithlar is, because more than likely that image is not an actual imprisonment, but representative of the danger that she's in.
hmm.
Because it's a dream sequence,
Right.
and it's like in metaphors.
Exactly.
So I'm
You become a paladin. You're a fighter
okay.
paladin.
You do like, well, see, Miri also has a couple of levels of paladin. When she needed to, she became one just for a period of time when she wanted to avenge something particularly bad that had happened.
Oh,
So it's not you have to stick with it, but you'll want to pick up at least one level in paladin so that you can do the appropriate smiting to save your horse.
okay.
So anyway,
Cool.
that dream wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been the quiet that Mary was able to broker, so that 36 hours of sleep at this location means the horse can't be very far from here.
How far are you from? What are your points now? Out of curiosity.
He just made fifth on a benchmark.
Oh, okay. Guess we have to benchmark again. Okay, let's get going. No time like the present, no present like the time.
Yay! It's my way of
Oh,
thinking. Okay,
okay.
so the
Mm,
36 hours is almost up. You guys had a full night's rest. Got to repack, retool. Where are we going
Yep.
next?
You said you wanted to go where? Well, aren't we gonna go to um Zenith's place and then go on from there to the Day and Else area?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to ask him if we could put a gate there when
Wasn't
we
Zenith?
eventually get there. Oh, we do have the Archer's Gate, but she wouldn't mind one of her gates
What
if
did
it'll allow us.
what did you say, Court?
Wasn't Zenith last time we saw him heading to the Grim Stronghold at the base of Cauldron?
Yes, this very one we're talking about.
Oh, Goshad's lair was on the Cauldron Mountain.
Yeah, it's north. It's past Crazy Jared's. Remember up
Ah,
north, up oh, that's right, because you went there by magic with Jace. That's how you got there last time. So that's why you don't remember.
Okay, that's why, because we didn't have the intervening. Okay, we can go to Cauldron and proceed from there.
Right. So you have to go past Crazy Jared's
But I
and
wouldn't mind picking up my mount at Bridgeton
all
because I
right.
left her there.
I'll go there first.
sure.
Okay, and then we'll go to Cauldron.
All right.
And Jace, do you have a horse yet?
He
Since the
has a
bride is
horse. He has a horse. Jackson has a horse, but it's not.
Jackson.
It's
Jackson.
yeah. It's not
Yeah.
It's not of the breed that everybody else is because he wasn't there for that encounter, so he didn't
Yeah.
pick one up.
Well, I only got mine recently. I never was there for that original.
Right. Right.
encounter.
I know. But he wasn't there for the one where you got yours either, so he's just missed out on both of them. So anyway, so Bridgeton's doing fine. Quick updates with the spy network. Uh, Dragonia has a fleet. Apparently, one of the seven princes has sided with them in the coming conflict and is allowing them to have a group of ships. We don't know how many, but they have a fleet now, and so they no longer have their back to the ocean. It's not like you could literally drive them into the sea and destroy them. They now have a way to escape.
Cord, the worst thing you ever did was not draw firm boundaries against those
What?
draconians. They needed to be put down into their place and told they can occupy the land they have. They're trying to land grab everywhere. They're using the section across the lower part of the bridge, between here, that one continent and the other continent, and they're sweeping through there.
Well,
The
worse, if it appears that when they took over that fleet, they have some way to navigate the Blackwater.
Mm.
they're not having to stay coastal. They can actually embark across the Blackwater. And therefore,
You cut out. You're talking about the others, right?
no, we're speaking of the
Oh,
Draconians.
the
Oh,
draconians. When you made that deal with them, you should have told them stay on your side. You're not allowed through here.
Well, they
They're
haven't.
trying.
They're going. They're not coming. They're not coming north. They're going.
is
They threatened Bridgeton that
Yes,
if Bridgeton didn't let them pass, they would force their way through anyway. That's a
that was when
threat.
you had them. That's when you had them pigeonholed against the eastern the I'm sorry, the western bank. But you let them cross, and they went. That was the Secgen army. That wasn't the Draconians, and the Secgen went down and joined with the Draconians.
I don't think it was ever a choice.
It should have been. You should
It,
have
Well,
it
declared.
the only choice would have been when you guys were not prepared to fight a war against the Secgen because they were going to cross the river. It was just better than have them burn the bridge down to let them get across.
right. There was only one choice.
It's like the South when they got to Mechanicsburg after Gettysburg. They had to
I'm
cross.
talking about the time you made the deal with the draconians.
Is it Dragonians with a G or Draconians with a C?
It's with the G. Dragonia is the
Dragonians.
nation.
Dragonians.
They're rather draconian in their strategy, but they are Dragonians.
Yeah, they should have been slapped down hard to begin with.
He wasn't in a place to do it by himself.
I, I
Now he's got 6,500 troops that are well trained and more than that in Helvald. So
Good deal.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of stuff is happening behind my back at Helvald that I'm not even aware of. That's just weird, but okay.
Of course, you're now the real king, and
you're
you have
not a
earned.
you're not a hands-on ruler either. You're not being held to stay behind your throne and make adjudications. Remember that drove you crazy. Just that 2 days you had to do that.
I think no, I don't recall that. What I recall is
Yeah,
saying
you
I had
hated
other
it.
obligations.
Right,
Okay,
right,
all right.
and you're right. You had other obligations, and your cousin said he would sit in your place, and then while you were gone, he got dead. But now he's not dead anymore, so something changed.
What? Hey, excuse me, what?
You missed that? He told you here your cousin is taking care of all the uh, whatever.
I thought he was just Monty Pythoning around.
No,
No,
no. He just said times things have changed. The
Great.
fact that
Well,
the fact that Margaret P. Carter is now the generalissimo of all these others, it seems, when she was actually on the other side, an opposing force. Now she's not an opposing force, as far as I can make out.
well,
She's on the side.
she's just trying to fulfill her agenda without getting her people killed, and she sees the adversarial way the rest of the world has treated them, offering to trade them like slaves. That did not work for her.
all right.
Offering to trade slaves? Who offered them slaves?
No, under the revision by the broadcaster, you told them they were supposed to be granted quarter, and people were using that as a way to take them prisoner.
Yeah, that's what I told them was wrong. They
Right.
should have been. They just surrender and promise not to take up arms against us. Period. And then they live their life out.
Yep. Except people
All
go,
right.
no, they've given quarter, so therefore I will treat them as I treat anybody else who gives quarter and move them on to a place where we want to buy them.
Yeah.
I
Well,
need to iron out a few things with
Yes.
Helvald.
Okay.
But first, we need to go speak with the Dayanels.
Yeah. Well, first, you want to talk to Zenith,
yeah.
and you'll find Zenith on the slopes outside of the fortress. I gave you the new name for it, right, or the revised name for it.
Let me look back.
Just earlier today, I think.
It is called um,
2 words that mean under dark Eversky.
Ushabil Neledzar.
Yep. So he's outside of that, and he's got a troop of about 75 of his original Grim soldiers. They're still wearing piecemeal off of their original black armor. Obviously, they've been in so many battles that their armor is no longer complete sets, and they're wearing hodgepodge to fill in the gaps. So they're not quite as beautiful as they were when they first marched out to face the Sec Gen. But nonetheless, these are his hardened, toughened lieutenants and such. And he's got a big copy of the plans, and he's talking over how they're going to regain the control inside, because apparently there's still some nuisances left behind by the kobolds.
Mm.
Of course, he sees you, and he gets up and comes bustling across the ground, puts his hand, and he says, "Ah, we finally have going to come to an agreement. I'm so glad to see you've changed your mind and are willing to support my efforts. I thank you for reminding me that the place was available, and for not having garrisoned an army here or anything to thwart me."
Of course, we knew it was yours. We
I'm
would
speaking
not
to
have
the
taken.
king.
I am nobody.
No, you're his healer. I know. You've protected him a lot.
Oh, me.
Yes, Torg.
Um. Yeah, last time we spoke, you gave me some helpful information about Regulus. Appreciate that. What was with the monk guy who was leading you up here?
Oh, he's just provided us with a more peaceful approach. We're not so reactionary as we were before. He's up above it. He's actually within the outer rooms up above, performing something he calls feng shui or something like that, where he's clearing the evil spirits.
All right.
Feng Shui. I never heard that word before.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like peace of the heart or something like that.
Well, that sounds like a very worthy cause.
It's a little strange. It requires like this jitterbug kind of a dance thing you have to do twice a month. I don't understand it. He laughs a lot, so he must enjoy it. He's like Rocky. He's like Rocket Raccoon. I just need you to do this thing and then do a dance. The dance isn't really necessary, but it makes me really laugh when I see you do the dance. So it's got nothing to do with the real magic, but that's okay. I just want you to think that that's true. So,
Very good.
where's the army? He looks past you, looks over your shoulder.
Well,
Where's your forces?
why would I have my forces with me?
Well, because we talked about you supporting my efforts, and I got the impression that when I next saw you, I'd be seeing you at the head of a small army coming to help me clear my lands, and therefore create your first vassal in the Everdark.
Um, I don't recall making a deal with that. In the meta, did I make a deal?
Well, yeah, you and your cousin were there. Don't you remember? No, Sam, you don't. No,
Don't remember.
sorry, Cord, you don't really recall that. But now that he says it, it kind of sounds familiar. It might have happened. He says, "Yeah, when you and the musician came up here, and we had that big discussion, and we had to get rid of the black dragon. You remember that part? You do remember?
Yeah, with Jace and
Hmm.
everybody, and it was a black dragon. That was a long time ago, Cord. Several changes of time have happened since then.
Yep. So that's okay. What can I do for you? You came a long way up here for basically nothing if you didn't bring troops. But what can I do for you?"
Cord, are you there?
I'm sorry, I was muted. Uh, Mary, don't you have anything you need to talk to Zenith about?
Um, we were wondering if you ever heard. Um, well, we're trying to get to Silver Falls
Oh, really? Okay.
in the seventh iteration.
Oh,
Or preferably, do you know where any Dan elves are?
well, sure, sure. Back across the barrier, there's a group of Daeans that are hiding out, I guess you'd say, in the upper tiers of the Everdark. They call it
You know,
they call it Silver Falls because it's a place where uh, uh, the limb isn't acting properly and it's following the laws of gravity and pouring down the outside of their living space, their dwelling.
do you know how we could get there?
Well, there's always
Yes.
my way, but if you're looking for a shorter course, you could probably talk to A&A. They'll ship anything. So just put yourselves in a box and they'll ship
Oh
you
no
wherever.
no 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 no! I won't deal with him.
What about Mavu?
Well, Mavu's trains run, but his trains run into chronologies, and then you got to figure out where the rest of the world is, and it might take you 6 months. It might take you 10 years to get there. Of course, that all
Do,
happens in the storm, and so when you come back, you've lost the years, but you didn't get any older, if you know what I mean.
um,
Does it shorten
Mary,
your lifespan?
You just live out that life in another place. I
Oh
think you know that happened to Omara.
yes, I knew something happened to her.
yeah.
She got kicked all the way back to the second iteration and lived out as a bridal, as a warrior barbarian chieftain's wife. Had many
Hmm.
children and lived out all the desires of
The
family.
wa- yeah, the walkers.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. Um, what is your way?
My way? Oh, just cross through the threshold. But that's only puts you into fourth, and then you have to find you have to then travel to Silverfall and come
How do
back.
we get? How do we get to the seventh though?
Well, you just need to talk to a Dayan. You didn't specify when.
Maybe they would
yeah, that's
know.
fair
Do you
enough.
know about anything about something that was
The sky's
mined
down.
out of the north and then brought to Dea?
Oh yes, oh, what do they call that? I'll go back and look and see if I can find the dwarvish name for it.
How you doing? What's that? What's the matter? What? What about it? Yeah, I know about it. Okay.
Ooh, here we go.
Here. Okay. I don't think you need a trash bag in your room. I do have your medication, but I'll give it to you later. Yeah, it did come. It's right here. But I'll give it to you later. I always do. Okay?
Drundoraz
Just promise to take it home and
or Drundoraz.
I will bring it to you
That
and
really
you'll
means thunderstone.
climb into bed and I'll give you your
Okay, it was the name of the big sphere.
all right?
For
You
the
want a break?
meteor the what they call it the Azure meteor
We need to get you on the oxygen machine
or
tonight.
Azure uh, Fellstone.
That's probably what we need to do. Okay?
The one that
Why don't you just
people
go in and
sacrificed
sit down
elves
and
to.
then I'll help you get into bed.
That was later, but yeah.
Almost it's about 10 o'clock. Um, what, okay. Yes, hi there, pretty me.
She didn't mute herself again, did she?
Yeah.
At least you don't talk loud enough to. Yeah, Drundoras.
So just go
Drundoras.
sit in your room for now,
It's
and
a.
I'll be in there. Okay. Unless you want to get into bed now. Well, I do want to get into bed.
Gene, go do what you got to do. We'll take care of it from here.
That's okay. It's taken care of for right now.
Okay, well, I just say if you need to run and put her to bed or whatever, you can do that. But it'll probably take you a while. So anyway,
Yeah.
we're almost the end anyway for the day. So yeah, so the name of the stone is Drundoraz. The dwarves, when they were one of the first ones to uncover it in the rubble because it fell into the Everdark. It was actually they had actually thought that it was a piece of the sky because at that time, as you may recall, NYCOS
I was.
had a blue sky, and here's this sky blue stone in the Everdark. And when they unburied it, it lo and behold gave off light as if it was a star.
Okay.
So the Dayan elves actually stole it from us. We never messed with it. We just revered it as our inward sun, if you will, because it was the first light brought to us, and it wasn't in the visual spectrum when it glowed. It actually glowed in the infrared, and therefore it gave us night to see by in the dark.
Wow.
And so it just hung suspended, not touching the ground, because the Nicotian soil wouldn't hold it, and not rising any higher because there was soil above it. So it hung suspended in one of our great caverns to the north for close to a millennia. And then the trolls of Tralara, I'm sorry, the trolls of Dol Gul uh, tried to take it for their own and made a deal with the elves, and then the elves stole it from the stupid trolls because trolls are stupid.
Did you ever hear its name called the Tears of
Aragon.
Margon?
Uh,
Margon.
oh yeah, Maragon was the name of uh, the elf who made the deal, and the reason it was called the Tears of Maragon is even as they took control of it, um, Maragon was actually drawn into the stone, and then came out as the first speaker, and the stone reduced in size to the size of about a 12-inch sphere, and sat atop his staff for almost 30 years as his body decayed, and eventually he fell to corruption. And the elves then were able to package up the object and take it the rest of the way.
Damn.
To
It's
their bitter regret, they dealt with it.
Yes, and it's believed that it was because of that they were cursed eventually with the Revening, the issues of the Revening, is that they had already shown themselves to be the weaker of the Eldrin brothers, willing to give themselves over. And at the end, Morrigan was actually sacrificing elves to maintain his physical form.
Okay. Well, it's not all the story, but it's part of the story.
Now, something that is 8,000 years old, it's get all the story bits at once.
It. They moved it. It was moved near the anvil.
Hmm. Why are you asking about that? Did you find the damn thing?
Yeah. I have a piece of it.
It is no more. That.
Alrighty, so I've given you what I can about your blue stone, and you still haven't told me whether or not you're going to send me forces to help reestablish my claims in the Everdark.
What
No.
is the resistance looking like?
Well, just the clearing of the kobolds, really. We haven't delved any deeper than that. We didn't
It will be within
have
15
structures that took us too deep into the mountain. We just cleared a straight path backwards to the gemstone ore that we prefer to mine.
Um. Well, I'll have to get back to you on that because my cousin, last time I saw him, was a corpse. So I've got some interesting things to work out there.
Hmm. You're letting a corpse run your army?
No. I mean, wait, run my army?
Well, you're talking about your cousin. I figure you're talking about the standing forces of Helval.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. He's commanding them.
Well, isn't that what you left him in charge of Helval?
But he was supposed to like make decisions in my absence.
Right. But you were
You
gone
left
for
him.
you were gone for 7 or 8 months.
Okay, well, hopefully he does a good job with it.
Well, you hired him to do a good job, so more than likely he's doing a good job. Anyway, if you could, anybody you could send, even if it's just some grunt work soldiers for my engineers to guide around, it'd be okay too. I just know I'm going to have my work cut out clearing out the Everdark in this, at least in this portion.
He needs to protect his engineers with men at arms. So
Yep.
it would be a good faith effort to offer him a contingent for a set period of time.
Oh, Drifter was here the whole time, and he has to take off. It's getting late, so
Okay.
he's got some
Some good night.
good notes here. You'll be able to read them a little bit later.
Bye.
So, yep, he's
Oh,
gone.
where do you read those?
If you watch the channel on Twitch, you can see the chat, and it'll show up in real time as you're watching the stream.
So how do I find it on Twitch?
That's funny you should ask. What a great lead-in, Gene. It's twitch.tv/NYCOS NYCOS. I think it's just NYCOS now. I think we changed it to just NYCOS.
Okay.
Twitch.tv
/NYCOS.
/NYCOS. Okay,
NYCOS.
fine.
Let me go. Why don't we all do that together, folks, so we can get a boost or a number of attendance, because we'll all be looking at it. Twitch.tv
So
slash
so nice.
I made myself a peanut butter
NYCOS.
bagel. Okay, go to Twitch.
Oh, NYCOS. May still have to have the D&D on the end. D&D.
Okay, just a moment. Where's my glasses? There they are. They're hanging around my neck. Whoa. Okay, so.
Yep, it is. So
Where's
it's
my glasses?
twitch.tv /NYCOS D&D.
There they are. If I'm in Twitch, how do I find it? Okay.
You just type that all into the bar, Gene. Just all at once.
So,
yep, it is.
You mean
So
from
it's
like
twitch.tv
Bing or Google or something
/
like that?
NYCOS. Yep, just go into your
Browser.
Mhm.
Right now, Bing is up, and I want
D&D.
Google up, and I don't know why Bing is up. If I'm in,
So NYCOS has Twitch, Facebook,
We're everywhere.
Discord.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
YouTube.
Twitch TWIT.
So we just
DH.
finished.
We're just on the brink of finishing, but I wanted to make sure we said goodbye to Drifter88, who's been here all day with us watching it all. So
Cool. Ask him how he liked it.
he's laughing all the way through.
Twitch TV NYCOS.
Yeah. So
NYCOS D&D is all one word.
NYCOS D&D, all letters, NYCOSDND.
NYCOS D&D. Is that DND or D?
Just the letters. No, the letters. DND.
Okay, and then we go.
when Twitch opens, it'll open directly to the stream, and you'll see all of our lovely faces.
Well, it didn't give it right to the stream. Twitch, Twitch, Twitch. Why didn't it take me
Because
directly to the?
you're not putting it in the search line. Like if you're going anyplace else, you just go up there and put in.
Okay,
You
it
even put the
opens up.
www if you want it in front of it. .twitch.tv.
Okay, I put it in the search. Okay,
That
so we want www dot
TWITCH.
slash
No, .tv.
dot TV
Yeah, like
dot
.com owns .tv
TV
slash.
slash NYCOS D&D
Yes.
slash NYCOS D&D. Okay, now we go.
And I just hit return, because if you put it in the search bar, that's where it'll show up.
Okay. The broadcast has indicated that this channel
It is
is
NSFW. Just say yes.
yes.
The reason why we said that is that we have to protect ourselves from children watching, because we have sometimes
Yeah,
Mature-
couple idle asses.
mature things that get said, like last week, right, Cord?
What?
When you burned all of our ears.
Oh, you mean when I said fuck?
Yeah,
Where are the comments?
on the right hand side. There's a little box. The whole time you're watching, it should be on the right hand side.
I see the right hand side, but I don't see anything.
You should see a whole ton of it, because the stream's been going on for a while.
Oh, stream chat.
If she just joined in, then she can't see the chat. It doesn't render for her. You'll have to look at it in the recording.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you know where to go now to get it. So this is her first time on Twitch, maybe. But all right. So anyway, that's where it is. And
So I'll never be able to see that chat?
Gene, he just told you have to wait till the stream ends. Then when you go back in to watch it later, then you get to see it, because it's captured minute by minute the whole time. So all the comments that are ever made on any of the episodes that are made on Twitch will show up there. And Drifter 88.
It's in real time, so if you want to see all of them at once, you have to like skip to the end of the stream.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just see them as they appear. But anyway, so we need to get out of here, and thank you all for playing. Because of the Dream Sequence, and because you are behind everybody else on levels, Jackson, you do pick up 500 experience points.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
thank you all for playing, and we'll see you all next week. And now that we know more about the blue stuff, we can figure out what we want to do. And thanks for playing. Everybody say bye.
All right.
Bye.